Hello there. Today we'll be taking an educational look at the species known as DoucheTubers. The DoucheTubers phylum consists of members that possess no soul, no morals, and no creativity, and definitely no entertainment. In this phylum you'll find members such as the Rice Gum and the Paul brothers. DoucheTubers are composed of mainly 5 characteristics. 1. They are all douchebags on YouTube who got popular by being douchebags on YouTube for children. 2. Bragging. Always bragging or flexing. Flexing, for those of you who aren't 12, is when the money is thrown in the face of the viewer. Look how much money I have that you don't. I just fucked a hooker that cost $5,000 because girls usually won't look at me without money in my hand, so I paid for it. You don't have this kind of money, I have this kind of money. So it's just bragging about your money to the children that watch you, which is kind of just shitting in the hand that feeds you. But kids like it. 3. Just being a big fucking douchebag. 4. You're still a big fucking douchebag. 5. Always threatening to fight your haters or roasting them. Optionally diss tracks if you want to be an extreme turbo super douchebag YouTuber. Douchebag YouTubers are something I've talked about in the past. They're probably the biggest content creators on the site because kids live vicariously through that kind of content. They see this man who's successful because they watch them. So they feel like they had a part in that person's success. And when they get flexed on, they feel like they've earned that. Like, when they're getting flexed on, it's like, hey, I gave you that. Yeah, use it wisely. Kids like that kind of shit because they might not have it, and it feels good that they were able to help someone else achieve it. I understand it. It makes sense. That doesn't mean I respect it, though. It's a very toxic thing. And the reason I'm making this is because I found the perfect example of a douche-tuber today. Memulus made a video on a man named Ryan Franklin who is the epitome of a douche-tuber. He does it all. And I want to take a hard look at his channel here to show you exactly what douche-tubers are and why they're a bad thing.
As for shoes, my shoes cost more than your whole outfit, so yeah, easy.
First, flexing. I'm only going to show one Ryan Franklin clip per point to illustrate it because I don't want to show more than necessary because I understand not everyone has a war-hardened stomach like I do that can hold on to vomit when they see abysmal fucking content like this. So I'm only going to show as much as necessary to get the points across so you are not tortured with more Ryan Franklin content than you need to be. In nearly everything that Ryan does, there's some degree of flexing. In a video it'll be, oh, look at this Gucci hat I just bought, or oh, hey dad, I just spent $2,000 on this Louis Vuitton trench coat. On Instagram he'll post, just bought this extremely expensive pair of shoes, these Yeezys. Oh, check out this Gucci condom on my micro penis, #blessed. He is always flexing. And flexing is one of the main things with douche-tubers. I really personally don't understand why people will just stand for that. That's just so insulting and spitting in your face. Hey, you've supported me. Now I'm going to brag to you that you don't have these things. So fuck you. I don't get that, and I think that's just a really bad thing to do. Unhealthy more than anything. It shows nothing but insecurity or a sense of holier than thou, which all douche-tubers have. They always think they're more important than all of their viewers, and they always have this belief that the world owes them everything and then entitled to everything the world has to offer.
I'm a hypocrite, which, you know, like, cool, whatever, like, I don't actually care, but apparently I'm a hypocrite because I complain about people doing clickbait, but then proceed to do clickbait myself. Now, I sort of get your point, but at the same time, your points are irrelevant, alright? They're dumb, they're stupid. I mean, I do the odd misleading thumbnail, the odd misleading title here and there, and if you're dumb enough to, like, you know, be misled and, like, actually go on to the video, like, I've clickbaited you, I won, I've got the extra view, like, you're so dumb if you've gone onto the video thinking...
I am in firm agreement with Ryan on this point here. If you are a fan of Ryan Franklin, you are dumb, and you are stupid. As you can see, this illustrates my point I just made, where he thinks he's better than all of his viewers. He thinks they're all very dumb for even falling for his clickbait, and most douche-tubers feel the same way. Hey, my audience is so dumb, I can clickbait the shit out of anything, even if it makes no sense. Aliens invaded my boners at 3 a.m. while watching SpongeBob? Haunted, super scary, you won't believe, number 6, 10 million views. So yeah, I agree the viewers of these kind of people, I wouldn't necessarily call them stupid, but they're naive because they're children, they're being exploited with this misleading shit, which is fucking awful in my opinion.
I don't see the attraction, like, I'm not overly like, ooh, like...
Now, one of the main things he does is he always insults any of his haters based on their appearance. He always goes right for appearance insults, and he does not discriminate. It doesn't matter your age, sex, race. You could be a fucking alien. You're still a target. Everyone is equal in his eyes. Here he is taking on a 6-year-old, and he showed no mercy. The full wrath of his clever roasting was laid down upon this 6-year-old. He was merciless.
Oh, is wrong with your hairline? Your hairline is so ugly.
Right. Hair jokes. I mean, never heard those before in my life. For real, if I had £1 for every single time someone mocks my hair for the colour or the style or anything, it doesn't matter. I'll be living in the Bahamas.
I wonder why you get so many hair jokes. I honestly can't imagine. I'm gonna go ahead and pile on it though. You look like Bert from Sesame Street. I'm sure you get that one all the time, so that's nothing new. Your hair looks like Anthony Sullivan's Smart Mop after it was used to clean up a pile of Chaz Finster's pubic hair. I'm actually really glad you chose that hairstyle though, honestly. It lets people know you're a douchebag without ever having to talk to you. Your hair looks like 3 rusted slinkies that had an orgy on top of your head that you just decided not to stop. So you're welcome. There's 4 more for your Bahamas fund.
Guys, this person right there is the ugliest man alive.
And do you know what's the most awkward thing is when this calls you ugly.
Oh no, look out. We've been invaded by Ryan Franklin. No, I'm just kidding. That's not Ryan Franklin. That's Watto from the Star Wars prequels. Ryan is way too much of a pussy to confront someone directly. He's already privated his Twitter account and shit because he's a big old pussy. But you see what I did there, Ryan? I compared you to Watto. And Watto is known for not being super great looking in The Phantom Menace. So I'm calling you ugly. You get it? You know, because that's what you do. Man, you really took that 6-year-old down to size, man. What are you, like 19 or 20 and you're just calling a fucking child ugly? Are you out of your fucking mind, man? Holy shit.
Well, I opened up some fan mail. This is a letter from one of you guys. I think her name's Jessica. I haven't opened that fan mail in 2 years.
What a cool guy. He couldn't even be bothered to read who the fan mail was from. He's had it for 2 fucking years and hasn't opened it. What a piece of shit. I honestly don't think that fan mail is actually from somebody. I feel like he just wrote that himself as Jessica. I don't think this guy's getting fan mail or ever has in the past.
You do want me to get maybe like another PO box, that sort of thing, so you guys can send me in letters, maybe like candy from your country, then, you know, I'll definitely do it.
Oh yeah, that's what we want you to do, Ryan. Open up another PO box so they can send you letters that you'll never fucking read for 2 years. Great idea, you stupid son of a bitch. Amazing. Hey guys, you want me to open another PO box so you can send shit that I ignore? How's that sound? Great, huh? Again, just further proving he does not give a shit about his fans or anyone for that matter. Unbelievable.
Now, I don't intentionally flex on my fans.
How the fuck do you have an accidental flex? Oh, whoopsie. I accidentally just started taking pictures of all of my expensive possessions and saying how great they were and then accidentally uploading them all over everything that I own. Damn, what a silly mistake. I mean, there's no correcting it now. It's already out in the wild. Shit, I'm sorry, guys.
First one was a joke to Ruby Roo because obviously during the summer I made a few videos on her. And yeah, the video's done well in terms of, you know, views. Got me money, okay? So I was doing a joke, like that tweet is a joke. Like the whole Yeezy thing. It's a joke. You don't realise, actually, like, I feel that I'm quite misunderstood. I said this in yesterday's video.
This is always the fleshlight these douchebags start to use once it starts backfiring with all of their douchebaggery and bragging. Oh, it's just a joke. I'm just playing a persona. Ha ha ha. I'm not really a huge insufferable asshole. It's just a joke. Lighten up, guys. But it's very clear it's not a joke because none of it's done in a comedic way or anything entertaining at all. It's just being an asshole. Jokes on you guys, I'm not really an asshole, ha 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 ha. If you have to keep reiterating that it's a joke time and time again, maybe it's not a good joke, or maybe you're the joke. It's just fucking silly because it's very obvious to anyone that you're not kidding. You're just being a douchebag. Now, this was a National Geographic look at the DoucheTuber, and I hope you've all learned something about this abhorrent species. I really have no respect for these kind of people at all, and hopefully you're walking away with this knowledge and also forming an opinion that, hey, maybe these aren't great people that I should be letting either my kids or my brothers and sisters that are young watch, because it sets a bad example for them. It really does. 100%. That's it. So yeah.
To be visiting the dark web version of the Internet Strangest websites. This is the final and technically 4th part
Let's
of the
go,
series. So I made
dark
a playlist you can
web.
check out at the top right of the screen if you want to
I've
watch all
seen
the
that
episodes.
movie.
For my safety
Unfriended.
and yours, I will not be sharing the links. Go watch the other parts of this series. Anyway, in case you guys don't know about the dark web, you can only access it using Tor web browser. Not Google Chrome, not Firefox, not Internet Explorer. I don't know why you would use that anyway. This allows you to go into
Well, it's not called
websites
Internet
that
Explorer
are
now, it's
on-
Edge.
The websites usually consist of random numbers. In the last video, we covered the basics, and this time I just decided to
Tor
keep
was
clicking
made by the
and clicking
CIA.
and clicking and clicking. So what you
Is that true? I remember that rumor floating around back when I was learning what the dark and deep web and shit was. Was Tor actually made by the CIA? It was made by the Navy. Oh, we're getting... Oh, there's like a fucking civil war in the chat. Was it the Navy or the CIA? On Tuesday, the CIA announced its own Tor Onion service. So the CIA, I guess, is getting into the dark web space. What are they, like, releasing dark web NFTs? I don't know. This is a weird announcement from 2019. The United States Naval Research Laboratory. I'm assuming it's just the first thing that popped up. Yeah, it looks like it was the Navy. So besides like arms purchasing and like illegal shit, what is the point of the dark web? Like, I can't imagine people are accessing the dark web going through Tor to look up like video game walkthroughs.
And
That seems like there's no way that happens on the dark web. Who's going on the dark web like, bruh, I'm really looking to buy some crocodile. Oh, someone's selling. All right, here's my credit card info. No one's typing that shit in on the dark web. No fucking chance. No one's dumb enough to do that, right? College kids? Nah, I don't believe that for even a second. Nobody would. They're absolutely using like Monero or some kind of crypto or something. They're not going to be using like their actual just fucking Visa card.
revenge. Now you might be saying, we already covered revenge in the last video. Yes, but those websites were taken down. Won't be sharing the name of the website, but I'll show you guys the layout. So right out of the gate, you're given a list of female names to browse through. If you click on a name,
This used to
you see their
exist on the
information.
surface web for what it's worth. Tuv even covered it once. There used to be a website that was all for revenge porn, and eventually the guy who ran it faced how many years in jail? I don't remember how many, but yeah, he got fucking blasted. But this was something back in the early internet days that existed just on, you could go on AOL and just look at revenge porn. It was fucking crazy. He got 18 years? Was it 18 years? You might be right.
There are two options: the lifetime basic.
Yeah,
and
see,
the
buy with
lifetime
Bitcoin.
premium.
You're not
Lifetime
typing in
basic
credit
costs
card info.
$150 and includes lifetime membership, daily updates, 101 gigabytes in leaked amateur content, which is 69,307
Jesus
photos,
Christ.
and 3,405 video, and plus a VIP section, an IP cam section, spy cam
What?
recordings, NAS Synology section, and unsorted content, which apparently they have 10 terabytes worth of. So yeah, the IP cam
Holy
section, it's
shit.
like, dude, I feel so bad for the girls that don't even know their laptop is hacked and people are just watching them. Random people are just watching them.
That's another crazy thing. Do you guys remember that back in early internet days? There was a time, I don't remember if it was Macs, but there was some laptop that shipped with a webcam built in, and it was extremely easy to access. So easy, in fact, there was a website set up on Surface Web where it would just be like a roulette. You just click a button and it'd take you to some random guy's webcam. You could just watch them living their lives. Was it Dell? It might have been Dell. Yeah, so you just have this roulette of just watching people's lives through their webcam. They had no idea. It was fucking wild. It was wild. So then, like, it was such a big deal that eventually the experts were like, if you own this laptop, just put a piece of tape over the webcam. Otherwise, you are most likely being watched.
You exist. But I just want to let you guys know that. And I'll provide some Amazon links in case you guys want to buy some webcam covers. Disgusting fantasies.
You don't want to look at my webcam? Yeah, like, it's just one of those fucking creepy things, man. I don't think looking through those webcams ever really, like, nothing like crazy ever happens, but it's still just fucking scary to think about.
If you are not of legal age, or if this type of material is not legal in your jurisdiction, do not enter. This site contains absolutely no videos, photos, 3D rendered art, or other illustrations of or adults. If you're looking for any of that, you're in the wrong place. It's basically saying, we have a bunch of these, like,
Shit's like a
fantasy
Tumblr blog.
stories about.
The fuck?
Not only that, but they have two philic prevention campaign advertisements to deter the users from doing anything in real life. They're obviously only doing this so it seems like, hey, we're actually the good guys. We're preventing this stuff from happening in real life, when in reality they're just providing the acceptance, normalization, and culture of files.
That is something that is, I've seen this on Twitter. There's a verified account, couple 100,000 followers from what I recall. They have this belief that if we could just use AI to generate fake children for porn, it would solve pedophiles. There is a group of people that genuinely believe that providing, like, more child porn but without real people, that it would somehow get rid of, like, pedophiles. It is the most ass-backwards idea ever. It's fucking disgusting. They've made this post like, this is where I think deepfakes need to go. We need to create deepfakes of children in pornographic settings, so that way people would no longer be incentivized to use real children in child porn. It blew my fucking mind, and there were people supporting that. Like, all that does is provide more child porn for pedophiles, and make the market even bigger for people to fucking film that shit in the real world. It's crazy. It's crazy. Twitter is just the most outrageous wasteland of horrible ideas. That's what this just reminded me of. I think it was actually Mudahar who commented on that. I don't remember what the account was that was talking about it. I know they deleted it shortly thereafter.
Minor, and it's still illegal to have on your device. Take Lolly, for example. Even though they're just drawings, you can be arrested and charged with a crime if you possess lolicon in any form. Other countries have also...
Oh, wait, let me read that. I didn't know that. Is that real? You can actually get arrested for Lolly? So what is Twitter talking about then where it's like, it's not illegal? In fact, Lolly is something to be celebrated.
So enacted laws making lolicon. We offer the best collection of real snuff and authentic R-word pictures and video clips.
Jesus
Thousands
Christ.
of photos, videos, comics, and books. Join us for your very special never forget experience. For a small one-time fee, you have unlimited access forever. We add always new forbidden content, completely safe and anonymous.
Jesus.
The document. The stuff on that document is absolutely fucking insane.
The
worst part is that they provide image proof. So, they provide image proof by using these web links. Everything that I'm about to say is real.
They use Reddit?
They provide some video proof too. I did check out some of them, and oh my god, I never want to go back. Like, deadass, I never want to fucking go back. I never want to see those images again. But it is real. I'm letting you guys know. This shit is real. Let's go over the document. I was actually kind of stupid and I downloaded the fucking text document. I don't know why I downloaded it. I downloaded something from the dark web. It's on my computer now. It's just a dot.
It's like a J-Station video. I downloaded some shit from the dark web. Now all of a sudden I'm an 8-foot smurf. I accidentally drank the Amogus potion at 3 a.m. from the dark web. Jesus Christ, tough.
Yeah. So the first thing they're claiming to sell are guns. We have sniper rifles, Mossberg 500, TOZ rifles, Kalashnikov rifles. I've never heard of that. But it says made in Russia, not China. From the other video. So let's just go into something shocking. This one, bro. This is what really got me. Video filmed according to your script with torture, R-word, snuff, etc. We need from you how many actors will be, race, gender, and your script/scenario. I can't believe
Jesus Christ.
The youngest actor we had, 4 days after she is born. The oldest actor we had, 93-year-old woman.
Holy
I'm assuming
fuck.
it's kidnapped people, blended up babies in smoothies. A classic smoothie is a drink made from pure raw fruit and or vegetables using a blender. Classic smoothie is a healthy type of cocktail that you can drink for breakfast or a bit later. But we have a special smoothie. It's made from newborns. We place in blender the newborn with or without legs/hands/head
no fucking shot.
And blend until the mixture is pour smoothies from newborns strictly in the refrigerator or cool place.
That one seems very fake.
Also buy male and female genitalia, just like they're obviously
I don't know about that one. That one doesn't seem like a real thing.
Safe and secure container will be transferred and marked as for medical school. So they got their own methods to.
That's CIA bait.
Legit.
Yeah, it definitely seems like bait.
Cocaine, and why does that even matter? What? By reading the names, I recognize some of them. It's extremely fucking illegal. They're also selling the Logan Paul video. You guys know which one, which is a complete shock to me. It was like a YouTuber on this list. What was going on? But you know what Logan Paul video I'm talking about.
Can't you just find that on archive.org?
60 FPS.
Why would you buy that on the dark web?
Grinder.
Pretty sure it's on archive.org.
Did check out their image proof and like
it makes it tier 1 Ash.
And you guys don't worry about my mental health. A lot of people comment like, I hope your mental health is good. It's good, bruh. I'm gonna go play GTA after this, right? But thank you guys so much for just
yeah, it's the Logan Paul Forest video.
It's a blessing.
I'm pretty sure it's on archive.org.
You guys, don't worry about me. Go on with your life. And I'll see you guys. Actually, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time I upload.
Nice. So besides like illegal shit, is there any reason to go on the dark web? I know Mudahar's made a few videos on like other things besides like the worst shit on there, but what else is there? Besides just a bunch of illegal shit. To get around taxes? Wait, there's like accountants on there? You could charge for like services to evade taxes or something. That's more just illegal shit though. I'm saying like besides all illegal shit, people just go there to hang out sometimes. Oh, well, if it was made by the Navy, then why the hell was it made and has a bunch of illegal stuff on it? Well, the reason it has a bunch of illegal stuff on it is because of the anonymity. That's like the whole point of the dark and deep web. As for why it was made, that I don't really know. It's probably to get around like surveillance or something maybe. I'm just spitballing. He's a tier 1 poopy ranger. Let's see what crimes were caught on Twitch. Off the top of my head, can I think of any crimes? Turkey, the Turkish community on Twitch was recently just caught in a massive scandal of money laundering through Twitch bits and donations. That's probably on here. What else? CSGO Lotto, would that be on here, you think?
Twitch started off as just
Prime
TV.
Raptor.
A man strapped the camera to his head and would live stream everything that happened to him 24/7. Eventually, the site grew and welcomed people from all over the world to
I
live
used to stream on
The
Justin
company had a
TV.
name change, which we now know as Twitch, and in 2014 was bought out by Amazon for $970 million. The first thing I want to do is talk about the horrible Twitch staff. Now, it's very known that Twitch has some, let's say, biased staff. Every other
Coming in
month, it
hot.
seems like a female streamer gets banned and then unbanned within the same week, whereas a
God
male streamer
damn.
can get banned for the same thing, if not something less harmful, and end up getting permanently banned. This has been proven time and time again, with the most recent case being about Narcissa Wright, a Twitch streamer that literally tweeted
Narcissa
out,
Wright.
"I want to kill myself and shoot people at Twitch headquarters."
That story is very sad,
Who was
honestly.
banned, and then what do you know? Unbanned a few days later. I mean, if you ask me, that should have been a permanent ban, but no. We see in this tweet here that they're reducing her ban, and basically, you know, she got unbanned, is what I'm trying to say.
Point is, Twitch, I see where your bans come. I see where they come from, but it's like to me,
Where's the bits, Alex?
it's just like this situation. This shoot people at the Twitch headquarters.
Should be a permanent ban. Now, why? Are the Twitch staff just full of simps? Yeah. And in all honesty, it does seem like Twitch has favorites. Sometimes the reasoning for people getting banned is so stupid, but then if a female does it, again, this is not every
Now,
single
correct me
case.
if I'm wrong. Wasn't she rebanned after being, or wasn't she rebanned after being unbanned and then banned again? I'm pretty sure they did correct that mistake. The whole Narcissa Wright story is extremely sad, though. That situation is horrible. I don't think many people know like the whole lore behind Narcissa Wright, but it's a honestly really sad story. Tell it? I can give the cliff notes. Back in the early days of Twitch, really Twitch was built on the back of speedrunning for a little while, like Siglimic, Cosmo Wright. Really the two of them were like pillars of streaming content on Twitch, and started to really get a lot of headlines. And then eventually ADGQ was rolling around, AGDQ started popping off. Cosmo Wright was a prolific speedrunner in Zelda games, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, all of that. And then over time, started to lose interest in speedrunning. I remember, I think it was 2016, Cosmo Wright entered into a Nintendo-sanctioned competition with a guy named John Numbers, where they were playing Mario Maker as a contest. And Cosmo Wright got blown out and didn't really return to streaming after that, if I recall correctly. And then after that, Cosmo Wright's mental health seemed a little spotty from what people were seeing. Eventually, Cosmo Wright transitions into Narcissa Wright, and from there, the streams that she would do were really focused on like really negative things, and it was very like a toxic environment. Eventually, Narcissa stopped streaming for a while, and what I understood is that she just outright stopped altogether. And then she posted that tweet about wanting to kill herself, and then the Twitch staff, which obviously turned a lot of heads as like, hey, what the fuck is this? So that's where the story's at. There's a lot more nuance to it, but that's kind of like the Cliff Notes breakdown. That whole story there, a lot of like sad and unfortunate things happened along the way. But since I was so big into watching Siglimic, Cosmo, that whole community of speedrunners, it's something I actively followed for a really long time.
Stephen Heyman. On August 31st, 2018, Stephen Heyman
I don't
and John
recognize him.
DiPietro, I hope I said that right, were on their way to Dragon Con, a convention made for gamers, comic
Is that a real
enthusiasts,
thing?
science fiction fans, and more.
Sounds like a
Stephen
joke,
was
like
streaming
Dragon
the whole
D's
thing.
nuts.
This is called IRL streaming. In Atlanta, Georgia, a man is seen approaching John and pins him to the ground. We can't see much, but we do get a full view of what the man looks like.
JP, just let go. JP, just let go.
What the fuck is happening?
JP, just let go of it. JP, just let go of it.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
You can hear
Well, that
Sneako
was awfully
repeatedly
calm.
say, JP, just let go. And this is due to what I'm assuming is John not wanting the man to take his camera, which the man did end up stealing. From the reports I've read,
wow.
it seems like the man was never caught. The YouTube comments were full of L friend, this dude is such a bad friend, and comments like that. But honestly, that was the best thing to do. You don't know if someone is carrying a knife or a firearm, and your life really isn't worth getting killed over something as simple as a camera or your wallet, when you could just
Love how the dude didn't help. Bro, you're not gonna just give up the camera. Everyone shits on Dale Brown for giving like survival advice for how to like survive in an intense situation and disarm the attacker, and you guys give him shit. But the optimal thing to do is to not fight back. Just give your camera. Again, like Tuv just said, could have a knife, could have a gun, and that guy's big as fuck. That guy was significantly more jacked than Steven here. Just give up the fucking camera. Like, I guarantee if this guy did fight back and got his ass beat, people would give him much more shit anyway. Or he could have lost his life over it for a camera.
The police officer explains the call and asks Mr. Big for his name. Mr. Big explains that he doesn't need to give him any sort of information.
Oh boy, you went
and
full Reddit.
it's honestly a pretty long and petty back and forth from both of them. Up until the cop places Mr. Big under arrest. I would say wrongfully place him under arrest. I mean, he did have his right to not say anything. Cops can always arrest you based on suspicion. You know, it didn't seem in the clip like there was any suspicion of anything other than just the way Mr. Big was acting. Anyway, so Mr. Big gets arrested, right? They leave and they close the door. So a few minutes after the arrest, the door opens and reveals a neighbor, presumably the one that made the complaint, walking in and stealing a pair of shoes and a headset. He then returns and steals what seems to be his phone and a watch. I tuned into Mr. Big's Twitch page, and to my surprise, he still streams. Well, he took a break and is back and averages about 5 to 10 viewers.
That's
so I decided to ask
fucked.
him a couple questions.
What a galaxy brain scheme,
Make sure to
though.
show him some love and make sure to tell
Fucking
him I sent
supervillain
you.
mastermind.
My name's Kev. I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, he was charged. Guy was
nice.
a career criminal, man. Had a lengthy criminal history. I think he did 3 years for that shit. His name.
I tried looking his name up in like a Washington police directory or something. I checked a lot of websites and I did not find a Jeremy Frost ad. Not that I don't believe you, Mr. Big. It's just that I would have liked to pull up his mugshot. RickyBot. RickyBot was a 43-year-old
I don't know this
man
one
who
either.
streamed himself playing Pokemon Go.
Oh,
Y'all
yes, I
remember
do.
that?
Yes, I do,
Pokemon Go
actually.
is a mobile game which requires you to go
I do know this
outside
one.
in order to catch since the man stole 3 cell phones and the camera itself. RickyBot was taken to a local hospital with a laceration on the side of his head and a swollen right cheek. That same night, Ricky put out a series of tweets reading, "I got mugged playing Pokemon Go in Central Park. Still talking to police and will go to the hospital soon. My jaw is a mess. Thanks all. My Twitch account got suspended. Literally insult to injury."
Yeah, that's another fucked up thing that Twitch used to do. I don't know if they still do. If a crime gets captured on stream, or like something like that, I guess, where you get your ass beat on stream, they just ban the account outright, which is weird. I remember there was that guy who was involved in a hit and run while streaming. At least I think it was a hit and run. Oh, no. There was a streamer who, while streaming IRL, accidentally captured like a shootout, I think it was. Like a guy shot at a car on his stream, and the guy got banned for it. It's really like a weird policy they have in that department when you capture something like that. That's technically against TOS, but you had no control over it, and it would also be good evidence. So I don't know why they'd like take it down. But yeah, that was something they did for all of those kind of cases. I remember that. I don't know if they still do though. Yeah.
So if I'm streaming, right, I have a malicious friend for some reason in my house, right? He comes in, says a slur, runs out. I'm getting banned. Right? I hate it. I hate it so much. And this poor man got pinned down to the ground and robbed. And Twitch is like, oh, nah, that's violent. Take it down. It's like, there's a lot of stuff about Twitch that rubs me the
that
wrong
policy
way.
is terrible.
In case you're wondering how
bad.
Ricky is doing now.
How do they justify it? Because I know they even put out a statement about it. I'm kind of curious. Where can I find those guidelines? Again, I don't know if they still do it, though. But where can I find it? Because I'm curious what they did to defend it. They don't want people faking it for clout. I remember bits and pieces back with the guy who captured a shooter on stream. I think they said something like, we're doing it to keep the VOD private for everyone involved and sharing it with the police or something. Thanks for your subcatamon. I don't remember. If I could just remember what that case was, I'm sure I could find their tweet about it that clarified. Does anyone remember what it was? Because it was a pretty big one. That one got mainstream attention. A streamer had captured like a shootout on stream on Twitch. It was valuable information for the crime, and they banned the account, which then made it inaccessible. Was it North Hollywood shootout? Man, what the fuck? This was 1997 North Hollywood shootout. I remember that. This was not Twitch. Fucking asshole. That one, though, changed law enforcement drastically. So, this is totally unrelated to anything we're watching here with the Twitch crimes. This shootout is fucking crazy. So, 2 robbers were armed to the teeth, like full-blown juggernaut from Modern Warfare 2. And they robbed a store. And the police showed up, and they just started blasting. Like, the guy's full auto, just letting it all hang loose. Oh, it was a bank. They robbed the bank. Yeah, that's what it was. Robbed the bank, just blasting. And the cops were shooting back, but their handguns weren't powerful enough to pierce their armor. So they couldn't actually stop them. They couldn't actually prevent them from leaving or doing anything. So they just kept walking away, taking bullets from the police while firing back. The police got so desperate for firepower, they started, I believe they raided a nearby gun store for like shotguns and other items, and as well as like just trying to find anything with a higher caliber. And it was such a long, drawn-out shootout that post-North Hollywood shootout, they started arming police officers much more heavily, like more firepower in their vehicles. It was crazy. The whole thing was captured on helicopter. In fact, the only reason it even ended is because one of the officers got a lucky shot on one of their ankles, because their ankle was slightly exposed, so they hit his ankle. He fell to the floor and knew he was going to be killed, so he took his own life. And then the other one, I think, got really desperate and just started walking at them or something like that. It was something like that. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy. Thanks to Prime Megalodon.
The streamer reacts and is then met with a handgun being pointed at his face, and he screams. Alright, don't roast his scream, because I'm pretty sure if any of us were in that position, we would not know what to do. So I know you chuckled after that scream, and I did too. But like, let's not be too hard on that
normal
scream. One of the thieves
scream,
goes to
honestly.
keep his wife quiet, and you can hear the kids in the background. The other is beating the streamer repeatedly with brass knuckles, asking where the money is at.
How do people think it's fake
then?
then?
Have any money, but eventually I did find the name of the streamer, and that's TMoneyFG. It seems he doesn't stream anymore, and I couldn't find a YouTube channel, unless it's the one with 1 subscriber, but I doubt it. I also
Could
found
be.
his Twitter, and it's extremely botted. 16,000 followers and no likes on his recent tweet. Yeah, a little bit weird. You would think that if he faked this, he would at least gain clout from it. And if he faked it, I don't know if he would scream like that on purpose. Plus, why would you put your kids through something like this? I mean,
I don't think it's
a lot
fake.
of people were assuming that the wife set him up because she was too calm. That was stupid too. You can tell she's trying to stay calm for the kids.
Seems like a weird
is
thing
this
to
real?
fake
Is this
if you don't
fake?
even
I
stream
really
anymore.
Can't tell. The video looked.
Ah, someone found it. Found the streamer you're asking about. Look up Bees on My Head TV carjacking. He was banned for getting carjacked while viewers were trying to use the VOD to find the guy who robbed him. Twitch came out and clarified their policy in response, stating that streamers are responsible for anything shown on stream. That's exactly what I was thinking of. A carjacking. Not a shootout around cars. You're absolutely right. Did he ever get his account back? Because this is like really a hardline stance. Twitch suspended his account for behavior caught on camera and has since informed the streamer he won't be getting it back anytime soon. Thanks again,
Security
McLovin.
breach. No, not the Five Nights at Freddy's game. So 6 months ago, on October 6th, Twitch was hacked and a torrent
Oh,
file
hey,
containing
yeah,
about
this was the,
125 gigabytes worth of leaks appeared on 4chan, and
income
that
leak.
included source code, streamer earnings, encrypted passwords, and more. We bring to you today an extremely poggers leak. Twitch is an American video live streaming service that focuses on video game live streaming, including broadcast of esports competitions operated by Twitch Interactive, a subsidiary of Amazon.com. Their community is also a disgusting, toxic cesspool. Beginnings, mobile, desktop, and video game console Twitch clients, creator payouts from 2019 until now. Find out how much your favorite streamer is really making. And then they link.
Did they ever
the
release
torrent
the
file.
second part
Jeff
to this?
Bezos paid $970 million for this, and we're giving it away for free. Hashtag do better Twitch. Though a bunch of stuff got
They
leaked,
didn't?
people mainly focused on how much their favorite streamers were making. I mean, your passwords were at stake, but people were, you know, kind of mad at XQC for being a millionaire, which we all know. We all know he's a millionaire.
No, that
Many
was a
people were
surprise
mad
to
at
everybody.
streamers saying they didn't make sense. It's really funny because a lot of Twitch streamers have their sub count like on the top of their head. They're letting
No,
me know
that
how much
doesn't
money
mean
they make.
anything,
It just
though.
takes a little bit of math. And they claimed that a part 2 was coming out, but that never happened. Many people just assume it was an ex-Twitch employee or a Twitch employee who knew they were going to be fired.
I
and
doubt
they
it
were
was
just
an
like,
ex-Twitch
all
employee.
right, before I go, I'm just going to end this off with a big bang. I'm sure you guys remember the whole Save the Kids thing.
Who could
It seemed like
forget?
when crypto was, I wouldn't say at its peak, I would say at its peak popularity within the internet culture, there were a lot of influencers really taking advantage of this. This doesn't even count the NFT thing, right? This is crypto. Crypto and NFTs are very similar, but they are different, right?
Shitcoins versus NFTs.
There were a lot of influencers promoting a bunch of scam coins, and once their fans would like buy the coins, they would quickly just take all the money, dip, leave the coin with no value. I mean, even Aiden Ross admitted to doing this.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token shit I did a
Yeah, I
while back.
remember this one.
I already told you guys, don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. How many of you guys actually bought it?
Oh my god.
Which was Ice Poseidon. Now, Ice Poseidon used to be a very popular Twitch streamer.
We know this
In
one.
case you guys haven't heard of him, he's very popular for getting swatted. Yeah, that's what he's known for. He once got swatted on an airplane.
I actually don't know if I'm allowed to watch his story on Twitch. We all know this one though. He openly admitted to stealing, what was it, 300, 500, what was it, 300 or $500,000 from a shitcoin that he was pumping. Just very open. Watch it? I'll just explain it. I made a whole video on it when it happened. Ice Poseidon was pumping a shitcoin. Somehow his community bought into it. He ran away with 300 to 500,000. I don't remember what number it was, but it was somewhere in that ballpark. And he then went on CoffeeZilla's channel and openly said, yeah, I took the money. I was worried the coin was going to lose some value, so I thought I might as well take the money before it hit zero. And he was just very open and honest. And then CoffeeZilla said, hey, why don't you just give the money back since you still have it? I see it in your wallet. You could give the money back. And he said, I could, but I don't want to. Yep. It was fucking crazy. Hey, Sneako. Does this outfit look familiar? This is the same thing I wore last time I took you over my knee and spanked your bottom with some discipline. And I'm happy to report that these are back in stock and a lot more at moistglobal.com. Last time I talked about you, I used you for a merchandise push as well, so might as well stick with tradition. I bet just seeing me in this attire again has just sent you on a full-blown Winter Soldier episode with your eyes rolling into the back of your skull as you're experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, because the first video I made on you offended you to such a high degree that you have not stopped whining since. It's already been 3 months, can you believe that? How time flies. You started shit with me by insulting me and my girlfriend out of nowhere, so naturally I responded by making fun of you in return, and showcasing the reasons why I don't respect you. But unfortunately I failed to calculate just how much of a sensitive fucking loser you are, because this hurt your feelings to such a high degree it's become like an Armageddon in your brain. 3 months you have continued to melt down about this. The day after I posted my response, he went on stream and had a huge unhinged tantrum and meltdown about the whole thing, and then he sent some of his viewers over. So I was joking with them, saying like, oh, you guys must have just stopped the cuties watch party over there at Sneako's stream, right? Welcome, cucks, that kind of shit. And it got really under his skin in a big way, so he started dancing around with the gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you, waving his gun around and dancing.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you were?
Now, the reason he keeps saying watch my clips while threatening me here is because during the stream, I couldn't watch him live because he just kept shouting slurs. So I said, watch my clips to see what I was saying about you. I had to communicate via Twitch clips. And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here. Anyway, sorry for the gun anatomy lesson. He was very upset, so he was threatening to come shoot me, beat me up, all of that, because I hurt his feelings, and it's been festering for quite some time now. 3 fucking months. You love to bitch about how everyone's canceling you. These soy boy NPC bots are all canceling you. It's all you do. You treat the teenagers in your Discord like they're your goddamn therapist. Just going in there to complain about the invisible boogeyman canceling you again, shaking your fist at the clouds. I also love that you treat this Discord server like it's your PR team, so you have them work on your responses on Twitter because you're not witty enough to come up with anything on your own. You have no ability to banter. You can't insult anyone. Anytime you're pushed, all you fall back on is one of 3 things. soy boy, bot, or NPC, and that's it. You never deviate from this path, which is ironic because you're like literally a sheep. You have 3 programmed responses. You're like the absolute worst character, side character in an MMO. It's pathetic. But I'm getting sidetracked. You love to be super public about how much you hate antidepressants and you shit on anyone who takes antidepressants, but with the way you talk in your Discord server, I'm pretty convinced that you're only 2 or 3 messages away from asking your community to source antidepressants for you under the table to help with all this mental anguish you're going through. And I think that'd honestly be a good idea. It might help you. But I'm putting the cart before the horse here. How did we get to this point? Well, I made that video about Sneako, and I fully planned on that being the only time I ever talked about this asshole. I really did. All I wanted to do was highlight why I personally don't respect him. I know a lot of people criticize me for not tackling his points, and to that I say, bah humbug, this fucking goober didn't make any points. All he did was insult me and my girlfriend. He insulted me and my girlfriend because I made fun of one of his friend's blatantly fake stories. He resorted to childish name-calling like, I'm ugly, and I don't go outside. That's not making any points. Like, what am I supposed to debunk there? No, actually, my mom thinks I'm handsome, and so does my girlfriend, so you're wrong, factually wrong. There's nothing to debunk. The whole point of the video was highlighting why I don't respect him. I'll go ahead and briefly give you a previously on Dragon Ball Z lore recap to bring you up to speed on the points I was making for why I think he is a pathetic piece of shit, and his opinion holds no value in my eyes. Is because he publicly defends Cuties as one of his favorite movies. Cuties was a Netflix film that used real child actresses in sexual situations, so they sexualized real children. A fact that Sneako himself acknowledges, but writes off as being okay because it's realistic, because in the real world children get sexualized. I'll say it again, regardless of what the intention of the film was, they missed the mark because what ended up happening is they sexualized the child actresses. That is a problem. Full stop. Even if the message was supposed to be the opposite, they still ended up contributing to the very problem they were speaking out against.
I saw Cuties last night and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover and I got clickbaited. So did you. You got clickbaited. The thing about Cuties is it's not an unrealistic film. Like, yes, it shows children in a sexual way, but this is not unusual now. And the people who are really mad about this aren't Gen Z.
Imagine claiming children in sexual positions is clickbait. Yikes. That's rough. You admit that the children were sexualized. That is bad. Okay? That means the movie failed in its mission. I don't know what you don't get about that. But regardless, I'm not here to just keep hammering home the same points. Another thing that I talked about for a reason I don't respect him is because he battles with his own sexuality. He is very public about how he used to go to these swinger parties, I think he says 4 in total over the course of like 2 weeks, where he watched his girlfriend get fucked by other men. Even telling the story of how he was literally in the bed watching his girl get fucked by a different man, moaning intensely, and it was traumatizing. Yet he recommends that everyone should try it at some point for some reason.
Because this was, imagine seeing the girl you love, like,
get fucked.
You
love her?
Yeah, I do. I love her. I was about to say I love this bitch. I'm like, nah, let me not say that. I love my wifey, my queen.
And you allowed the love of your life to get fucked by another man.
What happened to the other women?
I'm crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't do that. Like, feeling traumatic thoughts, like seeing her with another person. It's a lot. But I think it's something everybody should do just to test. You know what?
So my point with this was, why is this the guy that's lecturing everyone on their relationships, shitting on people's relationships, when he himself is in one that makes him very upset and he can't come to terms with it? Now, if he's open about being a cuck and happy and proud to be a cuck, that's fine. But he's not. It makes him mad every single time. So why the fuck is this insecure guy the one that's the moral authority on healthy relationships all of a sudden? That was the point of me bringing up that clip. Now, that was basically the whole video. I summed it up real quick. All I pointed out is I don't respect his opinion because he defends a movie I consider to be child porn. I think any film or any production that has real children being sexualized should be classified as child porn. That's how I view it. Maybe your definition's different, but that's how I personally view that kind of content. So him defending that was beyond reprehensible to me. And him being very public with his cuckoldry and how scarring it has been it should be a lesson and an example that he himself is not great when it comes to relationships and all these things. And I posted that and it made him extremely upset and he hasn't stopped fucking crying about it for 3 months. So, fast forward to 2 days ago. I was streaming a Moist Esports tournament and I went up to go to the bathroom. I had to take a shit. It was a double flusher. So I was on the toilet for quite some time and I saw a Sneako post that he's posted quite a few times now and I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing anything else right now on the porcelain throne. I'll play in the pig pen. So I did. For 3 months now, Sneako's had this adorable little collage that he made that looks like it's straight out of a 16-year-old girl's diary with pictures of boys from her class that she doesn't like. All about people that have hurt his feelings. This is his wall of shame for people that have insulted him online. What's even sadder about it is he purposely leaves out people that he's afraid of. So Turkey Tom, for example, made a whole video talking about Sneako and how pathetic he is, and Sneako tried to talk a big game to him, even challenged him to a debate, which Turkey Tom accepted with jubilation. He was ecstatic. And then Sneako kept ducking him, ghosting him. So he leaves Turkey Tom off of this list because he's afraid to actually talk to him. And he also leaves off quite a few other people, but the most notable other one that is comical for the absence is Brandon Buckingham. Brandon Buckingham is an internet content creator that Sneako lied about for a long time, and they had a lot of beef, and Brandon Buckingham actually challenged him to a fight. And Sneako is very fearful of him. We'll get into that more in depth in a moment, but I just need to set the stage a little bit here with this collage. So after seeing this for the 100th time in the last 3 months, I finally just said, holy shit, you pathetic, sensitive, soy little worm. I made fun of you for watching your girlfriend get fucked by numerous other men and also insulted you for defending child porn. That's not cancellation. That's just spitting on you for being a pitiful, sad cuck. And this puppy really blew up on Twitter in a big way. Now, I will say it again. What I did, and what I am doing right now, is not canceling you, Sneako. I am insulting you. I am making fun of you. Something that you were supposed to be a huge proponent of, right? Wasn't like one of your big things like bullying needs to be brought back. So now that I'm making fun of you, what, all of a sudden now it's off limits, now it's canceling? You have become the SJWs that you criticize so much. I don't know how you don't realize that. We continue. He says, you know in your soul you would never say that to my face. To which I respond, you literally have a collage of people that hurt your feelings on the internet. You haven't stopped whining about me for months now, you goofy NPC. Even if you beat my ass in a fight, it doesn't change the truth. You're still a cuck who also defends child porn. I think this is important to talk about, and I just talked about it recently. When you are getting your feelings hurt and your immediate response isn't to fire back with insults, jokes, whatever, it's to challenge someone to a fight, you've taken a huge L. You've shown that the person has got under your skin, and the only thing you can resort to is a caveman brain of, I'll beat you in a fight. Sneako, you beating me in a fight doesn't unfuck your girlfriend from the numerous men that had sex with her in front of you. It doesn't do anything. Everything I've said still stands. Nothing changes. It doesn't even salvage your ego. All it is a pathetic fucking attempt at attention. And I don't think you believe half the things you talk about. I really think Sneako just panders as much as possible. He himself doesn't even stand by the things he talks about. I really don't think he has any beliefs of his own. He just echoes what he thinks is going to get him the biggest audience / the most money. That's what I think. So this puffing out his chest of challenging me to a fight is clearly attention. That's what it feels like. Because you don't have this same energy for Brandon Buckingham. Brandon Buckingham is more than willing to fight you any day of the week. But with him, you don't want to do that. For some reason. Why? Do you not stand by your beliefs when it comes to Brandon Buckingham? He has said all the same things about you that I am saying about you. So why is he exempt? Why don't you want to fight him? That's so weird. This is what you said about Brandon Buckingham and fighting him.
And then finally, when Brandon Buckingham is down to meet Sneako, he's there to box him. They're both similar sizes. Sneako would now rather just sit at home and tell jokes behind his computer.
I'd rather sit at home and yell at a camera, tell jokes than, risk my manhood falling flat for Brandon Buckingham, if I lose the fight.
So now it's suddenly cool to just stay at home and keep it all online.
The full video here from Willie Mac is an absolute masterpiece on laying out every pathetic thing that Sneako has ever done, said, or everything ever. So I highly recommend checking it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's a banger. So, as you can see, the people he's confident in fighting are ones that he feels confident he'd win against. I'm 5'6", I think he's 6'1", so the height advantage he feels very confident with. And he has every reason to. He would probably beat me in a fight. But like I said, that doesn't change anything. Everything I've said is still true. You are a cuck, self-admitted, and you have defended cuties publicly, which, by more than just me, by many, is considered child porn. You're pathetic. Beating me in a fight doesn't change any of those facts. I've also been super vocal about how I don't want to fight. Like, I'm not afraid to say, like, I don't want to get hit in the head, right? Like, I'm afraid of taking headshots. It's probably a super normal fear to have, so I'm averse to going into a boxing match, especially one that's just a clout-driven spectacle like this. That'd be completely fucking worthless. And I've been super open about that, which I'm sure you know since you keep saying that you've watched my content, so you probably know that I was never going to accept a fight in the first place. Especially since you're, like, significantly taller than me, right? Like, it wouldn't make any sense. And even though you would probably beat me in a fight, you're certainly not beating me in, like, an aesthetic physique competition, because goddamn, I blow your ass out of the water. Look at this fucking anime character physique I'm rocking. Meanwhile, you're over here with that Abercrombie and Fitch from 1998. Now, in Sneako's credit, he did start going to the gym recently. Maybe I inspired him, and you know what? That's great. I'm glad I could have a positive impact on your life like that, Sneako. Getting into the gym is a fantastic thing, and you're gonna feel so much better. And I know you'll start seeing results soon as long as you keep at it. And then finally, our last exchange goes very similarly to the others. You're not special from the other 10 soy boys who say the same thing. If you got a problem, stop talking on the internet. Let's solve it. So I said, got your Discord still working on responses? Brother, I have no problem. You started it and I made fun of you in return. You're upset about publicly admitting to cuckoldry and get mad at me for bringing it up. You should be mad at yourself instead. Have some self-reflection. Which it's true. I don't have a problem. You literally started it, Sneako, and you even asked your audience to let me know everything you said and send me your clips. You actually asked for a response, and then got super upset when my response was a little too mean to your feelings. How is that not the ultimate cuckoldry? Like, even more so than your girl getting clapped by 1,000 men. How? Like, how can you, with a straight face, still call other people soy boys? I'm not kidding, I really didn't want to keep talking about you, but you won't stop talking and crying about me. It's sad. I understand you have a humiliation fetish, so hopefully this whole thing has helped you orgasm one more time from all of it. I don't think it's fun dunking on you, Sneako. I don't. And I'm certainly not canceling you. But you keep doing this. So you forced my hand to make fun of you again. But anyway, that's about it. See ya. How far would you go for some updoots on the internet? How badly do you want to suckle from that juicy teat of internet clout? I've actually started quite a few videos with that exact same question. It seems that today the most important thing to people is the numbers on the screen. Bigger number, better person. Everyone's so desperate to squeeze as much milk as possible from those beautiful honkers of internet points. And no price is too high. We've seen some wacky, goofy shit recently for those internet points. You remember those dudes that went to jail for 3 years on TikTok because they were filming a stop the train prank where they just sit on the train tracks and hope the train stops in time before they get brutally fucking blasted by it? And then it actually did stop and they went to jail. We also recently saw that kid play the fake robbery prank on some strangers and he got shot and died for it. His last words were quite literally, "Just a prank, bro." At least according to a few sources, that was an extremely sad one. So we've seen some crazy shit. People really will do anything for some internet fame. And today I want to talk about a pretty special case. It's someone that I'm sure you've heard of. I've talked about him before. A lot of people have. He's been a big name on YouTube for a while. His name's Nikocado Avocado. If you're on Twitter, you've probably seen his asshole floating around pretty often. For some reason, it was a big trend in meme to just post Nikocado Avocado's OnlyFans content all over Twitter. So I've seen his butthole more times than I've seen him doing his mukbangs. For those that don't know, Nikocado Avocado is a mukbang YouTuber. It's primarily what he does. Mukbangs are when you just eat on camera, and that's about it. I'm not really here to get into the lore of Nikocado Avocado. There's a ton of videos that do dive into it. I want to talk about what's going on recently with him. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and take my swampy ass out of here for a second and let Nikocado Avocado kind of take it away. This is from his most recent video. This is kind of what his content has become.
I wouldn't have become disabled if it weren't for you people who encouraged these videos. This is the $6, this is the $10. Ouch! My ribs! How many months are we gonna have to endure this pain? All right, let's go for this. Ooh, this definitely looks cheesier. This one, and I'm allergic to this one too. Oh, but sometimes in life you just want what you can't have. I'm not allowed to have garlic, or lots of onions, or durian.
Now, to anyone that's familiar with this creator, you'll probably think that this is nothing special. This just looks like every other video he's ever made, just with less crying. You've probably even seen Nikocado Avocado around other parts of the internet. If you don't even know who he is, you've probably seen some of his clips. He usually will eat something and then just start breaking down into tears and crying about something. He's notorious for constantly crying. So then why did I decide this video and these clips to show you? Well, as you can tell from the title of that video, he now claims to be a disabled person, which I'll get into in a minute, but I want to focus on what he said at the beginning, outside of making some of the most revolting noises I've heard in quite some time while undergoing some kind of exorcism. He said, "It's your fault for encouraging these videos." Now, he says shit like this pretty often, and it shows me that there's still some self-awareness deep within him somewhere, locked deep away. But that rational side of him he keeps buried, locked in a cage, and still does this content, even knowing better, even knowing that it's a complete detriment to his overall health and well-being. He continues to do it while still having that small glimmer of self-awareness. He says it's your fault for encouraging it, and he's absolutely right. Nikocado Avocado didn't start as this kind of channel. Even 4 years ago, 2017, so 4 years ago now, he was a very healthy person. He seemed to be pretty mentally, sound. He wasn't breaking down on camera all the time and going wild and crazy from what I remember. He was even extremely good at an instrument. I think it was the violin, if I remember correctly. He was a vegan. He was just preaching some really positive stuff. But then he started to notice that the videos that gained a lot of traction were videos where he was just fucking gluttonous and eating 1,000,000 calories per sitting. So he stuck with it. And now he has a couple of channels where he does this pretty much every day, and it's been like this for the last 4 or so years. This is what he used to look like in 2017, and then when the videos really started to gain traction, he gained over 200 pounds in the last couple of years. And it's absolutely true. It's the audience's fault for this. They created what Nikocado Avocado has become. Obviously, it's not all their fault. He is making the conscious decisions to completely throw away his health and well-being, which has now led to his disability, which he claims to have. Again, Nikocado Avocado is not the most reliable narrator. He makes a lot of shit up sometimes. So whether or not he actually now has a disability, it's anyone's guess. He claims to have 3 broken ribs, which is attributed to his incredible weight gain. Incredible being the wrong word, really just astonishingly upsetting weight gain that he's been putting on recently. He claims that the weight of his body has now broken a few of his ribs, which now has him bedridden. I think he also claimed to now have to have a full-time nurse in order for him to just engage in day-to-day activities. And he also has been diagnosed with sleep apnea, I believe, which is why you'll see on his most recent thumbnails, he has like that machine hooked up to his nose that makes him look like some kind of like cyborg from the future or something. It seems to really be going downhill quickly for him. People have been saying for the last couple years that Nikocado Avocado is literally killing himself for YouTube views, and it's absolutely true. He is slowly killing himself and documenting the journey the entire time while having an understanding of exactly what he's doing. He's well aware that he is throwing away his health, his well-being, his happiness, for the sake of some YouTube views, because his audience continues to eat it up, much like he eats up 1,000,000 fucking cheeseburgers every couple of days. For almost the last 4 years, almost every day, he has done mukbangs like this, where he's eating 6 pizzas, 8 pizzas. He'll get like fucking McDonald's and he'll order everything off the menu and then ask if they can just tilt the grill over to get a little extra grease in a cup for him to drink on camera. It has been an extremely sad thing to see. He's also been saying for a little while now that he's going to be losing some weight. His weight loss journey has begun, but what ends up happening is for every pound he loses, he gains 10 more. I didn't play much of the video here, but he even mentioned that. He even goes on to say after the "your fault" speech that he started his weight loss and he lost a pound but then gained 3 more because he wanted to please his audience with more videos or something like that. So it's just truly a pretty awful thing to see. As you probably noticed from the screenshot, the last 6 days he's posted a video each day talking about his disability and his new diet with it, and each one He has tons and tons of food from different places, and it's not clickbait. He really eats all of that food. Very rarely does he not finish his plate. He usually finishes it or gets very close to it. Almost nothing goes to waste. It goes right into Nikocado Avocado's guts. And one thing you may have also noticed from that screenshot is his views are high, which is exactly why he does it. Yeah, most of them have more dislikes than likes, but even on the one I showed you, that's still like 4,000 likes, so there are 4,000 people dropping a fat like, leaving an encouraging comment, and he's usually peddling some merch, so the shirts you see him wear, he immediately pins in a comment for you to buy them, and I imagine he sells quite a few shirts. Even the people that get in there just to dislike, or just tune in to watch the train wreck, that's more views for him, that's more engagement, that helps him, and that keeps him on this wagon, keeps him going. So overall, it's just a really shitty cycle. And I tune in occasionally just to see if Nikocado Avocado is making any strides in helping himself, because it seems like he really wants to sometimes, and then he goes right back into going to Chick-fil-A to literally eat fucking food off the floor like David Hasselhoff. Like, it's just really sad. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. He doesn't usually visit the restaurants. He just orders it and then eats it from either his bed or his own like table that he sets up for it. When he is out in public, though, he's usually on one of the mobility scooters, and he gets a little crazy out there, because a lot of what his content has become is him making really gross noises and shaking his head around while trying his best to like shake his whole body around to really let you know that he's gained a lot of weight, which I don't know, man. The whole thing is just weird and just sad, and that's all I wanted to talk about. This is just another one of those things where it's like, man, the links people go to for some internet fame, like, you know, it's just upsetting to see. So, I mean, yeah, that's really about it. So, yeah. There's no worse feeling than when you engage in an internet argument with some anonymous asshole, and then it turns out that that asshole is extremely talented. Today I have a very sad story to share with you where the villain gets the last laugh. Real life isn't like anime, where the good guys always win. Sometimes the bully comes and puts your head in the toilet and flushes. So it all starts with this video. A YouTuber posts their best performance of an impossible piece of music called Rush E. Now, obviously, I'm a fucking Neanderthal when it comes to piano. I don't know anything about any major pieces except from, like, your big ones like Mozart and Bach. So I had never heard of Rush E before, so I did a little research. Rush E was actually a song created as a meme that is quite literally impossible for any human being to play. And I don't mean that as like it's extremely difficult, I mean it is genuinely impossible. You would need 15 fucking arms, and even then you would struggle. Let me go ahead and show you where it started, the genesis of Rush E. If any human being actually performed this song as written here, it would probably end the world on the spot, or bring about the heat death of the entire universe. It would signal Armageddon. It is quite literally an impossible piece of music that was made to be a joke. However, some piano players on YouTube tried their best to kind of change it around a little bit, mess with the arrangement in order to make it almost possible to play on the piano, which is the video I just showed you there, which is giving a very spirited attempt at making it happen. And I thought it was very good. Of course, I'm not a piano expert by any means, but most people that watched it also agreed that it was extremely impressive what he was able to do. And this spawned an argument in the YouTube comments. YouTube comments are the cesspool of the internet. It is absolutely fucking deplorable down there very often. But in this comment section, it was overwhelmingly positive. But just like everywhere on the internet, there has to be that douchebag that comes in and shits on everyone's fun, just ruins the entire positive atmosphere of everything. They drop their pants and goatsy themselves and just makes everyone feel worse. Their presence making everything more negative. Keep in mind, this piece is literally impossible to play. You saw it. It looked like a Toho bullet hell game. But that didn't stop some enlightened Redditor from demanding perfection. It actually comes from this comment, which is a very nice comment from a guy named Just a Guy Who Likes Hentai. He says, "How can you dislike this? I don't see anyone else actually playing this." You know, that's just a very wholesome thing. Like, you know, this is so good, I can't imagine someone not liking it. It's just being nice, you know? Obviously, there's going to be people that don't like it, but it's just a very encouraging comment. But it summoned a demon. A piano-playing demon named Fanshin. Fanshin replies to that comment saying, "Probably because it was mediocre, no offense." Yeah, no offense, buddy, but you just fucking suck, and you should be embarrassed that you posted this video. It actually made me physically ill. I puked and was so offended by your awful, mediocre playing that I broke up with my own girlfriend in protest. This isn't constructive criticism. I saw a lot of people defending this, saying he was just offering criticism or answering the question. No, he's just being an asshole. There's nothing constructive about this. You just saying that it's not good without saying, like, where they could improve isn't really constructive criticism. It's just you being a douchebag. And obviously, he wasn't genuinely answering the question in the comments of how can anyone dislike this, because it wasn't a real question. It was just an encouraging statement. It's like when you get told a story like, "Can you believe my parents got divorced?" And then your friend responds with, "Yeah, I can, because your parents are fucking selfish sluts." It's like, well, I wasn't actually asking you if you can believe it, you know? It's not like a real question. It was just a supportive comment. So there's really no justifying being a douchebag here other than just being a dick. So then the guy responds saying, "Was it? I'd like to see you try. So come on, give us an awe-inspiring performance." Spoiler alert, he would soon regret issuing this challenge. Fanshin responds, "Oh boy, you will embarrass yourself. I'll show you what a good performance of this piece sounds like." To which the hentai fan says, "Then do it, stop talking, and do it." Now, 10 times out of 10 on the internet, when some anonymous asshole makes statements like this, you don't expect them to follow through on it. And even less often, you will expect them to be good at anything. But this is the exception. This is the anomaly. This is probably the first time in history someone has actually followed through on a statement like this and actually been good at it. Fanshin responds saying, "Maybe you can pay me, then I'll be motivated, LMFAO. He's pretty arrogant and pompous," to which Hentai responds, "So being known as a jealous, contrarian liar until you post your own rendition isn't a good enough motivation for you? Sorry, but that's all you're gonna get." And then Fanshin again, he's twirling that cartoonishly evil mustache and says, "Haha, sure, why not? Fun summer project. Maybe I'll get more views." And then other people kind of come in here and tell him to shut up. They don't really like his negative attitude. The comment section starts to gain a little bit of infamy, so more people come in with the popcorn to watch from the sidelines. You can see the war has erupted. Now we're watching the commenters fight. Another challenge was issued saying upload something by Scott, that guy, other than MLR or Entertainer. Again, I'm not familiar with piano pieces, so I don't even know what that challenge is. I'm assuming it's difficult. And then eventually Fanshin comes back and says, "Wouldn't have the confidence to upload a performance that I'm not pleased with, but yes, props to the guy for attempting it. It's just this could have been played with much more accuracy had he spent more time polishing, which is something I will show. It's pretty much learned a tempo, but I'm striving for consistency and clarity." So he finally gives like almost a constructive criticism there. And then he gives his rendition of this piece. And unfortunately, it fucking slaps. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the hentai guy deleted his channel after that. I mean, it's unlucky that the guy that he was arguing with was the only person on the internet who happens to talk shit anonymously and be able to back it up with real talent. You really hate to see that. You hate to see an anonymous internet asshole turn out to be really good at something. That's a horrible feeling. I know when he watched this video, like when he dropped the video, he was probably still so confident, like, yeah, this is gonna fucking blow. And then he started listening, and as his erection grew, he felt more and more shame. hentai guy was just sitting there stewing in anger like, fuck, he's actually good. Damn you, curses! Because, I mean, that's how I felt, and I wasn't even involved in the argument. But I think this also illustrates an extremely important point. No matter how talented you are, it can be overshadowed by a shitty attitude. A lot of the comments here, and even in the Reddit thread, were just kind of saying the same meme of pretty mediocre, no offense. Like, not even respecting his very clear talent, because they don't like him. If you're insufferable and unlikable, people aren't going to respect your skill. And I think that's, now granted it's not everyone because the video is still overwhelmingly liked, but it could have been a truly positive experience had he just gone about it in a much better way. Like, you know, this wasn't the best rendition of the song, but I do appreciate the effort that went into it, and in fact it inspired me to want to learn it myself. And then he drops this video, and then, you know, that's a lot better, I think, and you'd have more people on your side as opposed to just people brushing off your extreme level of talent here because you were an asshole in the comments to someone that was just proud of their own rendition of the piece. Like, his arrangement of this is like a custom arrangement, obviously, because you can't play it as written. His arrangement is extremely solid, and his performance is unreal. Like, absolutely unreal. And to have that just thrown to the side because he was super unlikable is a real shame, I think. So, I mean, this was a pretty wild experience because I've never seen this before. Like I said, 10 times out of 10, when you're arguing with someone on the internet anonymously, that person behind the keyboard's usually a coward that doesn't really have a lot going for them. But in this really rare instance, that anonymous guy was a fucking piano prodigy. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you all. That's about it. See ya. I've thrown on the formal attire today because we need to discuss something very important. A huge loser named Bintellect. Big goofball, weirdo, lame-mo, behemoth creep. He is a big TikTok creator, and that's a word I'm using very loosely here, with 11 million followers, and I'm sure only people under the age of 10 have ever heard of him before. What he's become known for over the years is looking at tweets or comments, reading them out, and then going, heh, yeah. That's literally it. But sometimes it's a little hard to even muster a laugh, so what he'll do is he'll read one of the comments and then go, yeah, true. And then that's the whole TikTok. But I'm not here just to give him a little wet willy and laugh at him for all of his cringe. I am here to talk about something far more degenerate. But before doing that, I'd like to give a quick honorable mention to something else this piss stain of a person is notorious for doing. Threatening legal action against people that make fun of him. I've seen a couple videos on Bintellect now after I've been informed of the situation, so I did a little digging. Apparently when people make fun of him, he gets super offended and will either try and copyright strike, take down the video, copyright claim it to make money from it, or even go as far as to just threaten to sue the person that made fun of him. You disgusting goblin, you make me sick. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Now, while I do think a legal battle with Benjamin over me making fun of him would be hilarious, I still just don't really feel like showing you any of his clips because it's just going to rot your brain and it's yucky. It's just trash. So, no reason for that. Let's get into what I want to discuss, the new information that came out about this weirdo. So, Bintellect recently made a podcast, I suppose, and he invited someone on named Jordan Max, and then things got really odd. He got super hostile, and she ended up posting about it, which led to this dam breaking, and we were flooded with cringe about Bintellect's behavior over the years with women. So this horny little goblin asks her before going on the podcast, do you want to make a video for OnlyFans? To which she says, when? He says, today. And then she's saying, no, you need to be tested within the last 14 days and have an OnlyFans creator account. But then he says, I mean a video for your page. Oh, what a benevolent saint. He was actually just thinking about her the whole time. He thought this would be a good opportunity for her to make some OnlyFans content with the great Big Bintellect. So she says, doing what? And he goes, I don't know what performs best on your page. I can literally see him doing this. Well, I mean, I don't know what we do. I mean, what do you do on OnlyFans? Maybe we could do that? So it's become pretty clear that Bintellect uses this podcast as a way of just fucking. It seems to me like the whole podcast existence is only here as a way of trying to get Bintellect laid. So he tries to leverage his big follower count to then invite on OnlyFans models and then ask if he can make content with them. It's pretty pathetic stuff, but we're only just beginning. He continues by saying, I was just thinking you're helping me with doing a video for my YouTube, so maybe I could help you with your OnlyFans. And she replies, I'm good, thanks. So then he goes, no worries. And then, hey, I'm gonna do the pickle video with someone else, thanks though. To which she asks why. So the pickle video he's referring to is the podcast was going to be a pickle tier list mukbang or something like that, a pickle mukbang, and it was her idea, it was Jordan's idea, and he's now kicking her out because she declined to do an OnlyFans video with him. So his answer to why was, to be honest, I thought it would just be fun to film and see where things go, but I got it. So he gets real sad and pitiful, like, no, I get it. I just thought it'd be fun, but clearly it won't be fun. I'm gonna do it with someone else then, how about that? So he goes real Neanderthal mode here. My wiener no get wet, we no eat pickle together on podcast. Goodbye. How dare you not do OnlyFan video with Bintellect? So then he says he's doing it with someone else. So Jordan, of course, gets really weirded out by this exchange. She posts it on Twitter, and then Bintellect himself, the man, the myth, the legend, reaches out in DMs to threaten to sue her if she doesn't take down the post. She even did a video proving that the DM is real from the real Bintellect account, just to 100% silence any possible doubt. Also, her response to it is great. She said, I will just be waiting to hear from your lawyers then, which is hardcore. Obviously, Ben's not going to sue her. I don't think he's ever actually gone through with a lawsuit. He uses it to try and bully people to do what he wants. To do what he wants them to do, rather. So, I don't think any lawsuit was ever coming. This was just a last-ditch Hail Mary from a desperate, lonely guy to try and get rid of the evidence of him being a creep. So, that was the whole interaction between Bintellect and Jordan, but after this tweet started popping off, well, the series of tweets started popping off, she then started getting DMs with more screenshots and more evidence of Bintellect doing this to tons of different women. This comes from someone else who had a very similar experience to Jordan. So Ben opens with, do you work tomorrow? They say, crazy busy day, but I don't work. And then Ben goes, let's make some content tomorrow. Not like that, but just film a podcast. So he immediately alludes to like, oh, not OnlyFans type content. I'm talking about just a wholesome podcast, one the whole family can enjoy. Doesn't get an immediate response, so he goes, what do you think? He then waits about 2 hours more and he goes, you're killing me, gorgeous. So fucking embarrassing, Jesus Christ, that's so fucking awful to read. Yucky. And then he gives her about 3 more hours and then he goes, you know what, I've been thinking about this OnlyFans thing, and I think I could make us a lot of money, straight up. And then she finally does reply saying that she's just been busy taking a mental health day. So he can't even go more than like 3 messages without bringing up OnlyFans. It seems like the only thing on this guy's mind is sex, and how he's never getting it, I guess, but is very desperate too, and will do it by any means necessary to try and achieve coitus. From everything I can tell, Bintellect has never done any kind of OnlyFans content on his own, or like any type of explicit content. He's just a professional TikTok giggler. All he does is giggle at Twitter messages or comments, and that's it. So clearly he's not wanting to dip his toes into OnlyFans for the sake of becoming like an OnlyFans creator. He just wants to have sex with these women, and he's using his podcast as a vessel to try and do that, it seems. After she told him about the mental health day she was taking, he responds with, hey, thank you. And then the following day at 6:52 a.m., so this guy must have been up all night masturbating, because it seems like that's the only thing on this dude's mind, he sends her a message saying, do you want to come over tomorrow night? Actually, are you down to come over tonight? Or are you just a flake? Doesn't even give her time to respond, just immediately gets combative. He immediately just goes into fucking ballistic bin mode. So you coming over tonight, or are you just a flake? Huh? Are you just a fucking succubus? Huh? Is that it? Huh? So you coming over tonight? And then he waits only like an hour and 40 after that, and then he's like, you know what? Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, babe, but you're just too much of a flake. Bye. So then obviously she's like alarmed, like what the fuck is going on? So she says, you know, if you wouldn't have texted me so rudely calling me a flake after 1 day of not texting you, you might have stood a chance. I can see why you're single now. Goodbye. Which really just sends Ben off the rails. Yeah, whatever, go fuck yourself. Says the girl who's trying to make an OnlyFans. Good luck. Brother, all you talk about is trying to do OnlyFans content with them. It seems like you're trying desperately to get into OnlyFans but keep getting rejected and can't handle it. So how can you have the gall to try and shame them for it when you are desperately trying to do it yourself? Here's a wacky little Snapchat one. Do you want to come over here and spend some time with me? Because on a side note, I do think I could probably make us some money on OnlyFans, Bintellect fucks crazy into oblivion. That's redacted right there, like a CIA document. I really wonder what he said. I think it's Bintellect fucks crazy pussy into oblivion or something, but I'm just going off of what I can see poking out from underneath the redaction. I think that's what it is, but this is so goofy. He's speaking about himself in the third person in this one, and then he even tries bribery. If you come over, I'll give you $1,000. I just really want you. And they respond, I'm good right now. Don't try to bribe me with money. That's weird. And then he's like, no, that is weird, but I want to see you. This one's a lot more vintage Bin. So this was a different kind of relationship these two had as opposed to just the podcast OnlyFans hustle he keeps trying to run. So they start by saying, I guess it's just not meant to be. Bin says, facts, no hard feelings, but yeah, it ain't working. So then they part ways, or so it would seem. Bin has a couple of parting words here. He says, for your future self, if you're going to turn around on a guy and say, hey, I'm not down for friends with benefits shit, just say that before you go through all the bullshit. Boring as fuck. Not my problem that you turned around and quit drinking because you're an alcoholic and now pass out at 8 p.m. Fucking peace out, bitch. So Bin really, he went crazy. Bin lost it. This man, he was punching pillows, sending these texts with tears in his eyes, and he got real nasty. They respond to it saying that they're far from an alcoholic, and then Bin just keeps going crazier saying, no, you're an alcoholic, and you're full of shit. And then he's like, anyway, I'm done. I just had to say that because you're full of shit. They respond saying that they weren't interested in being with Bin, and he should have taken the hint a while ago, but then Bin he goes absolutely berserk again. She says that she's wasting people's time and that she needs to just shut up and go to bed. And then she says, it sounds like you need some anger management help, which is a very fair assessment. I think he desperately needs some assistance with this anger management. And then Bin tries to flip this shit around like, how dare you? Are you kidding me? So he goes, be careful who you say that to, Maria, because there are people who really need help with that. So Bin lets out a gasp. That's super disrespectful to say that to somebody, and also a very basic-ass bitch thing to say. Benjamin, it's a very fair thing to say here. It's not disrespectful. You legitimately need some help. It very much seems like you do. So then he goes, there's a reason you've been single for this many years, and it's because no one wants you, and no one cares about you. You're full of shit. Basic, boring loser. He just goes on, and even has this little monologue here that ends with him saying, God help any guy that you gets involved with that loose pussy because you're just lame. Mic drop ho. This guy just typed out mic drop ho. He just typed that out. He's over 30 years old. I think he's like 34 years old or something like that. I already forgot. This is a 30-something-year-old man, and he just typed out mic drop ho. To which she responds, I'm sure your TikTok fans will love the way you talk to women when I post these screenshots. And then he's like, you know what? Good luck. I stand by every single word that I just said to you. So, did he stand by every single word that he said? Let's look at his initial apology, which he deleted pretty shortly after posting it, and then also hid replies on. Let's look at his first apology. I've recently been accused of some heinous actions and would like the opportunity to share my disgust at these accusations. I'm a firm believer in the rights and equality of all humans, including women. If that's not the biggest red flag immediately, I don't know what else is. I stand by the rights for all humans, and that does include women. Those creatures. I am including them in that statement because that's the kind of angel I am. It makes it sound like he's drawing a distinction between women and every other human on the planet, like they're a totally separate species that aren't included in humanity. What an absolute incomprehensible weirdo. I grew up in a home with 3 sisters and no brothers, so I learned very early on the importance, power, love, and abilities women have. They deserve to be cherished and uplifted and treated with respect, and that's how I live my life. I do not condone the statements or accusations that have suddenly been hoisted upon me, and I hope to speak to anyone who feels they have been wronged. He's actually going with I have sisters. I can't hate women. I have sisters. No, I have 3 sisters. You guys don't understand. I could never do this to women. Like, you're misunderstanding. These are all baseless accusations. I have 3 sisters. I legitimately cannot be mean to women. And not only do I have 3 sisters, but my mother is also a woman. So you should see how ridiculous these claims are now, knowing this context with my 3 sisters and mother. So that should hopefully clear up all of the air here with these accusations. Like I mentioned, he did delete this apology post, but today he did release a new apology on TikTok. He released an apology video, so let's take a peek at that. Also, Ben, I know you're still watching. You probably plan on suing me if I show your apology video because you've employed this tactic before against other YouTubers. If they've shown clips of your content to make fun of you, you allege that it's stealing your work and you have a legal ground to take it down and come after them. You don't. That's not how that works. Me showing this is not any kind of violation in any way, shape, or form. So if you do try and sue me or copyright claim this video, copyright strike the video, anything like that, I will 100% respond with every single option at my disposal in order to follow this legal case through to its fullest conclusion. So let's check out your apology, brother.
Hey guys, there's a lot being said about me on the internet right now, and I just wanted to clear the air. The first thing I want to say is I'm sorry to anyone that I've made feel uncomfortable.
I love how nonchalant he is about this whole thing, just trying to downplay the situation. Like, if I made any of you feel a bit icky, a little uncomfy, I'm super sorry. That wasn't my intention. You must have misunderstood. It's not what I'm about. When in reality, he would snap, get aggressive, hostile, combative anytime he was denied sex.
I want to say to any girl who I've been rude to, whether through text or in person, that I'm sorry. I understand that me being sorry does not excuse that kind of behavior. I will continue to work on myself and do better. Thanks, guys.
Behold, the first AI ChatGPT written apology. This just ticked every basic box. There's really nothing of value here at all. Just like the quickest, weakest apology, and he's just gonna go forward doing his little, look at this tweet. Like nothing ever happened. So, that's kind of where everything's at. Dog shit apology, dog shit situation. This guy is a big old loser. So, let's use this as a learning opportunity for anyone watching. Don't be like Bintellect. That's really about it. See ya.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs to get the stream going, if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs? There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really they really don't respect me as a content creator.
Well, this parasite's right about one thing. Nobody respects her as a content creator. Now, I'm not going to mention this streamer by name because I'm pretty sure she loves negative publicity. She does fucked up shit all the time just to get her name out there. She subscribes to the idea that all publicity is good publicity, but fails to realize that when you as a person are your own brand and rely on people liking you for money, having a negative public image literally fucking ruins you. And this one is definitely bigger than she anticipated because no one likes someone this shamelessly greedy. She is a streamer who runs political talk shows, but the majority of the stream is spent begging and shaming people into giving her money. And it's some of the most pathetic shit I've seen on Twitch. And I've seen a lot of pitiful, sad shit on Twitch. I saw a man finger his butthole for a $20 donation on Twitch, and I still have more respect for that than I do her. At least him sticking his fingers in his asshole was more fun than all of her streams combined. And somehow him putting nearly his whole fist in his chocolate starfish was still classier than any of this girl's streams. At least he had the decency to not shame the viewers into giving him $20 for sticking fingers up his brown balloon knot. He wasn't on stream going, hello, you broke cheap-ass viewers. I'm sitting here with my beautiful asshole goat seed into the camera, and nobody's giving me $20. My speech about giving me $20 and I'll finger my asshole didn't give me any money. What the fuck is wrong with you? He was very simple about it. He's like, you know what, $20 and I'll finger this asshole right here. You don't have to do it, but if you do, I'll fucking finger myself. And that's how it went. She's over here making a whole song and dance about it, making everyone just feel fucking uncomfortable, and she feels so entitled to their money, which she absolutely doesn't deserve. She provides no value whatsoever. You might as well just flush $5 down a toilet. That's more value than giving it to this girl.
Expecting and blah, blah, blah. Like, how are you consuming this free entertainment? Like, how do you think free entertainment is available to you? It's because other people actually provide money so you can be a cheap ass. That's it. Other people provide money because they're generous and they see like a thing that they want to support, a form of entertainment they want to support, and then you leech. But that's the reality of it, period. If you're watching Twitch as a non-donating, non-sub, you are leeching. Does that mean that you should feel bad about it? I don't know. But the reality is that you are leeching.
Such a laughable sense of entitlement, especially when she has no talent at all. Also, she's not making $0 from viewers that watch her for free. Twitch itself places an ad at the beginning of your stream, so when someone clicks on your stream, you're getting money just from that click. And I'm pretty sure she plays ads throughout her streams, which also gets her money from viewers that aren't donating or subbing to her. So I don't know why the fuck she thinks she possibly has the right to complain about not getting an extra $5 from people that either can't afford to or just don't want to because she isn't earning that $5. And she absolutely isn't earning that $5. All she does is insult the chat. She doesn't provide anything at all of value, and I'm pretty sure she hates streaming and only does it to just try and get money out of viewers or guilt them into giving her money, which is super shitty. I'd say 95% of all streamers, myself included, I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/moistcritikal. Come stop by if you want to put a few extra inches on your penis. I'd say 95% of all streamers do it just because they love streaming. I know I do. I don't think the majority of streamers are going around just constantly begging for subs and donations, but I know there definitely are a few, her being the biggest culprit, but I'd say the majority of streamers aren't like that.
Chat, I haven't got a donation or a sub for an hour. What the fuck? For an hour? What the fuck? An hour when I fucking working for free? What the fuck?
What a horrible, embarrassing perspective for someone to take on something like this. She has the worst possible attitude. I'm not going to go into her disgusting past. She's done a lot of really fucked up shit and said some fucked up shit. But just this perspective of hers that she is so adamant about, where if you are not paying her, you are a piece of shit. She calls you names, she calls you out by your screen name if she sees you're not subbed. She is the most standoffish, unlikable person on that platform. And it's gotta be kind of embarrassing to be a subscriber to this girl because she's openly hostile and doesn't give a fuck about it. Only there to siphon $5 out of your wallet every month because she feels entitled to it, as if you're just holding her money for her because you flip on her stream to fall asleep to it once every 3 months. But yeah, this narcissist is probably the greediest person on Twitch. She's like the Mr. Krabs of streaming, but not nearly as cool as Mr. Krabs because she has a shitty personality, a horrible attitude, and the worst perspective on things on that entire platform.
And the reason why this is getting retweeted and liked so much is because she's an attractive woman who didn't act like a nice person, which is what makes sexually frustrated incels angry. Woman non-acting, woman out of her place, me mad.
Yeah, this hero decides to make it an issue about her being a woman, despite the fact that that is irrelevant to why people don't like it. It's because people don't like someone that says shit like that, and it is that greedy and that disrespectful and that entitled. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. But this guy's trying to score some of those brownie points. Oh, streamer, please look at me fight for you on Twitter. Please let down your long hair so I may take my $5 and climb up and woo you over. It's also really cute that Mike over here decides to call everyone that disagrees with her perspective an incel when he himself is like the fucking king of incels. Check out his first interaction with the streamer.
That's fine. I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I think I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched like a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
I think they want to go in.
Okay.
Whoa there, Mike. I think you made her a little too wet with that alpha energy. Yeah, man, you've definitely got a lot of room to be tossing the word incel around, huh? With game like that? What a fucking player. Great work, Mike. There are people sticking up for her, of course. Buyer's remorse. They've already paid for the subscription, and now they feel like they need to justify it to everyone in the world. Like what you like who you like. It's totally fucking fine. But there's very clear reasons why people don't like what she said that have nothing to do with her being a woman, Mike. It has to do with her attitude and her disrespect and that sense of entitlement that she thinks everyone has to fucking pay her to watch her, and then she guilts them into it and shames them and makes them fucking feel bad and attacks them for it, which is wrong, Mike. It's just fucking wrong, and it's shitty. It's a bad look and it's pathetic. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. This is the most hostile comment section on YouTube, and I feel like I can say with a high degree of certainty that this is the longest argument ever in a YouTube comment section, lasting an entire year and spanning roughly 500 some replies. Now, with this kind of anger, you would expect the video to be some kind of politically charged video, or maybe somebody said anime should be illegal or that lollies are a crime, something that really puts a hate boner where someone's flaccid cock once was. But what if I told you that the video that all of this is taking place on, the most aggressive comment thread on YouTube, was actually on a Paper Mario song? I'm going to take you on a journey through this war zone here. We're not going to read every reply just because there is so many. This thing's longer than the fucking Bible, honestly. But we're going to go through the big parts, the big moments here in the manga, make sure we get the gist of what's going on, because this may be one of the greatest stories ever told. It's got it all. It's got a little something for everyone. A story of betrayal, violence, love, terrorism, action, drama, mystery, and most of all, Mario. Chapter 1, The Catalyst. This is where it all begins. This is ground zero. Lunar1314 leaves a comment saying, I don't care if I get hate because of this opinion, but this is my favorite Paper Mario final boss song. A bold and brave hot take. Someone didn't tell Lunar that opinions are illegal on the internet. It's not the most controversial thing to say, it's simply a matter of liking a song. But this is the internet, and you can't like something that somebody else doesn't like. A lesson our boy Lunar here is about to learn the hard way. Enter the villain, Aramaru 1837, because you're like 9, haven't even played the other games, I guarantee you. And now, just like the Powerpuff Girls when the hotline rings, our hero rolls in, Dave Matthew. These are our primary characters. Of course, we get introduced to other important side characters throughout the season here. The lore gets very deep, trust me. But this is basically the Batman and the Joker, Dave and Aramaru. Dave sweeps in defense of Lunar. How about we agree that you are a jerk? Everyone can have their own opinion, and that is the internet, so no one cares about your opinion to begin with. Also, instead of throwing insults at me, why don't you try to get me to see things from your perspective? It would be a lot more time efficient, and unlike insults, actually accomplishes something in the long run. Or you can continue to assume that I am a mere child that does not know of the 5 other Paper Mario games, or was it 4? Or has even played them, both opinions being completely wrong. But as I said, it's the internet. We can go in circles all day and night and neither of us would get anywhere. So let's not, okay? Dave trying to get out ahead here and squash the beef, giving a fair warning to Aramaru that you do not want to fuck with Dave, but spoiler alert, Aramaru pokes the sleeping bear. You never gave your side, dumb fuck. All you did was come on here talking about some damn opinions or some shit. Pretty clear you didn't intend to accomplish anything. Also, you haven't played any other game, have you? It's not hard to know how many Paper Mario games there are, kid. 64, Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario, this garbage, and Color Splash, which was actually not bad, but was too weird gameplay-wise to be called a Paper Mario game. And it's this comment right here that makes a good boy go bad. You do not question Dave Matthews' understanding of the Paper Mario franchise, and you do not do it on a public forum like this, and be an asshole about it. The opinion haver that started all of this comes back in here, kicks open the doors to the Church of Paper Mario with tears in his eyes like he just watched his parents having a fight, saying, all I said was, this is my favorite final boss song in the Paper Mario series, but it turned into a huge fight and I don't understand that. And then Aramaru hits him with a hard dose of reality. You said you don't care if you get hate, so obviously you do understand, dumb fuck. Unfortunately, Lunar just doesn't understand that his initial comment was like the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, and now he's started a massive war. And in war, Lunar, there's casualties. I know you can say whatever you want, but please, can you please calm down and make a nice comment to people? Like I said, please not say about 1,000 cuss words with this reply, please. It's not hurting you to read a quick fuck. Look, I'm understanding everything you're saying. I'm just here to calm you down. Not everything in the world is solved by anger. Jedi Brooklyn Green comes in here and tries to reason with Sith Lord Aramaru here about how anger's not the key, but it's all for nothing because Aramaru has already been consumed by his anger. Like I said, I am cutting out a couple things here because there is so much of it, it'd be like a 10-hour video if I read the entire chain. Basically, in a nutshell, Dave was saying this is pointless, it's an internet argument, let's just drop this. And he concludes his monologue with, well, since we both agree that this whole thing is pointless, let us just agree to disagree and be on our way then. Aramaru. Cool, so fuck off. Peace was never an option. Nah, seeing your pointless insults because you can't come up with an actual comeback to my remarks is rather funny to me. Heh, I thrive off your pointless rage. Thought it was done. Why you still here, idiot? As I said, I thrive off your rage and anger. You want me to stop? Stop being angry. Easy. Dave Matthews is slowly accumulating power like a spirit bomb fueled by Aramaru's rage. He is laughing in the face of Aramaru's anger. Not angry, dumb fuck. Piss off. See? Angry. Not angry, dumb fuck. Piss off. I see that you're running out of comebacks. I can give you a few if you need them. Dave, of course, being one of the world's leading comeback dealers. Not stressful, you're just annoying, lol. And there's plenty of music better than this shit, even from Color Splash. Uh-huh. Why don't you go back to your 1,000-year-old game and super overrated Paper Mario game? Your screen, oh boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. Oh wait, I broke it. If this was done, why did you reply? Metal Mario coming in here just spitting straight venom in the face of Aramaru here, lighting him on fire with the world's smallest violin comment. Nice try, dumb fuck, but I haven't even played any Paper Mario games except Color Splash. Now fuck off with your shitty excuses for jokes. People have better shit to read. When I initially made it to this chapter the first time and got blindsided by this plot twist, I fucking recoiled into my chair, threw my arms in the air. I was just so absolutely shocked. I felt like I was witnessing history, like I Am Your Father level twists here. This is subverting expectations done extremely well. Not Game of Thrones Season 8 bullshit. This is how you surprise a reader with a narrative plot twist. Who could have seen this coming? If you remember back to the genesis of this whole mess, it started with Aramaru melting down and breaking shit in his room over the fact that somebody liked a Paper Mario song he didn't like, and then accuses them of not having played any of the other Paper Mario games, and then only a short 100 replies later, he himself admits he's only ever played one Paper Mario game, and it's not even this one. It's so fucking remarkable. What an incredible twist. That is character development right there. Now we're getting a little bit of the origin story of Aramaru here, which only makes him even more mysterious. Well, I see my sympathy was misplaced. You seriously judge a game on what other people say about it? You sure have missed many a good game. Also, shame on you. Don't give out criticism if you don't actually have the knowledge to back it up. It's just stupid to say something's wrong and then give no evidence at all to support your theory. And that's researching 101. This guy Reddits. Also, it appears that you really do only know how to spit out insults. I'm gonna have fun with this. Hello again, my old friend. I see you're here to argue once again. Too bad this will end with you weeping, because your argument is less than the dust I'm sweeping. But you will not give up yet, because you don't realize that it's the internet. The internet. So you might as well be voiceless, as all arguments here are practically worthless. Dave Matthews goes full Robert Frost here with this personalized slam poem to Aramaru. I get that it's supposed to be a Sound of Silence parody, and it's executed wonderfully. A special song poem about the argument you still persist on despite the flaws in your argument. P.S. You still haven't told me what your favorite song in the series is. Did I ask? No, bitch, I didn't. Fuck off. Shut the fuck up. I didn't even read what you said because I just know it's dumb as shit, lol. Come on, man, he took the time to write an entire parody song for you. The least you could do is read the lyrics. For about 4 days, there was peace in the comment section where people were going over things they liked and didn't like about the game, and then Aramaru comes in full fury here, pitchfork in hand, ready to slap shit around. He reignites the argument by saying, obviously do if yo pussy ass won't just leave the conversation. Dave says, ha ha ha, now I remember why I stick around. I love to see what kind of pathetic retort and comeback you are going to make at me that I can easily tear apart. Really, it is rather satisfying to see what you come up with. Once again, there was a truce called in the comment section for about a week, and then Aramaru came back, and Dave immediately noticed. He's like the NORAD defense system, able to hone in on Aramaru's presence and then attack. Oh, hello there. Ready for round 2, my little whiny failure? Round and round the argument goes, when will it stop no one knows. That meme has been dead, fucking idiot. I'm ready for you to piss off, you worthless fuck. I did not drag your pride through the mud and make you look like a brainless, arrogant maggot. You did. You destroyed your own argument. You ignored the statements that made you look like a fool. You chose to spit out nothing but insults. Your fault. Your stupidity. Deal with it. Or stick around and continue to look like a moron. It's entertaining, and besides, we win either way, and you lose either way. Dave hits him with some kind of superhero monologue right before he throws the bad guy in jail, and Aramaru says, "Don't care to read your arguments, lol. As a matter of fact, I only read the first reply, lol. Quit wasting my time and fuck off." "Then you are nothing but a bottom-barrel fool who will have no success in life. As I said, you don't bother to defend yourself at all. That makes you an idiot. Also, why should I? You have no power here and you never will. The fact that you think you do just displays your idiocy for everyone. Besides, I already gave you the requirements for my departure. Or are you incapable of reading as well, my little maggot?" Everything Dave has been saying thus far sounds like the Rick and Morty copy pasta from Reddit. I mean, I think Dave is in the right here because Aramaru is a huge fucking asshole, but man, he's really going about all of it in a terrible way. A month goes by. Is he finally gone? Yeah, he is gone. Is he gone if your dumbass would just quit replying? I didn't even read shit you said. I told you that I would only leave if you either apologized for being rude, or if you went 10 comments without swearing. You are not good at remembering things, are you, my little maggot? Hello, little maggot. Just letting you know that I am still in this comment chain, just in case you thought you were rid of me or that you actually won this argument. Okay, bye now. This was after a month of him not replying, so Dave just really wants to continue this, and nothing makes me more uncomfortable than reading Dave keep calling someone my little maggot. Like, this must be how it feels for some girls when they hear the word moist. Every time I read him saying my little maggot, I just get like tingly and uncomfortable and break out into like a little profuse sweat. It's just yucky. I feel like I'm reading some old woman's fanfic where she's describing some weird sexual intercourse she had at a biker bar or something, and it's just making me uncomfortable. I don't know why he keeps calling this guy my little maggot. I don't give a fuck where you are, dumb bitch. Just like no one cares about you, my little maggot. This will be the last time you see Dave with this kind of confidence because he's about to meet the actual muscle here. Mr. Hater. If Aramaru was a supervillain, then Mr. Hater is a fucking turbo villain. He's a galactic villain, a universal threat, a divine being of villainy. I don't even know what to call him, a fucking raid boss of villainy. Because he comes in here and just starts slapping shit around. He's a big asshole as well, of course. But he brings Dave to his knees here. This is like when you're reading a comic book and the hero's in trouble. So Mr. Hater comes in here with a full chub, full erection, red alert. He calls out Dave in front of the entire classroom. "I see you have a superiority complex and are very self-centered. How very hypocritical. You're no better than him. Guess I gotta clean house and deal with little keyboard warriors like you myself." That is honestly like some Marvel's Thanos shit right there. Dave is still riding the high after he seemingly defeated Aramaru, so he replies to Mr. Hater with a large amount of confidence and a bit of arrogance, saying, "Heh, you poor naive fool. When did I ever claim that I was better than little maggot? That I'm better than you? Oh, to live in your little fantasy. Can you not see what I am doing? Or are you just as blind as he is? Of course I can tell you're cut from the same cloth as my little maggot, so I'll humor your attempts at insulting me and everyone else present. Let's see how long you last." Dave's still under the impression that he's the king of this Thunderdome, but what he hasn't realized yet is Mr. Hater's not locked in here with Dave. Dave is locked in here with Mr. Hater. "Oh, I know your intentions very well, and I intend to stop it. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? Just look at your comment, you poor naive fool, to live in your little fantasy? These are things that a narcissistic, self-centered man-child would say. How am I or anyone with half a brain cell supposed to take you seriously? There's a reason the other guy left. You won't last long, Dave. You won't last long because underneath all that bravado, you're just a sad little boy with delusions of grandeur, who, by the way, can't talk for shit. So here's a piece of friendly advice. Turn away now and stop wasting Aramaru's time, because if you don't, by the time this is over, you'll be my little maggot." No response. Guess I must have hit one of your soft spots, Winky. "So you actually have some bite, do you? Good. Let's see what you've got. I will compliment you on your use of insults, as well as how you get straight to the point." Dave is immediately showing that Mr. Hater has hurt him. You can't do that, Dave. You can never show weakness to a man like Mr. Hater. He can smell blood in the water. He can smell cum in a bathtub. He will pounce, and you can't let him find any amount of scrapes on your armor. Dave, he showed a weakness, and Mr. Hater exploited it, unfortunately. Heh, of course you didn't realize. I wasn't talking about Lunar. I was talking about you and me. We don't care what others think of our opinion. We just say whether we agree or disagree with someone's opinion. In that way, we are alike, you and I. Don't you agree? I love this exchange here. This is like the season finale here when the two characters are monologuing at each other before they start beating each other with like a stick or something. Ah, I see you're trying to get on my good side. As you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. How about this, Dave? Write a full paragraph apologizing to Aramaru, and I might consider agreeing with you. And, by the way, it has to be real nice, so no calling him my little maggot. Otherwise, I might just start calling you that myself. That would require me to have a single shred of respect towards little maggot. And in case you did not read the whole conversation, I did apologize to him. He threw it back in my face and used it to insult me without responding to it whatsoever. You, on the other hand, are actually participating in a discussion, while my little maggot only responds with the same insults like he's a broken fax machine. You, I respect, little wasp. I forgot to click read more for the screenshot, but it said, I do not respect little maggot. So now Dave, for some reason, is calling Mr. Hater Little Wasp. I don't understand where he's getting this from. Maybe like from old 60s movies or something where it was cool. And then he references a fax machine which hasn't been in use for the last 30 years. So I just don't know what's really going on here. Maybe Dave is caught in a time vortex and he's communicating with us from the past. And he's only able to communicate through the comment section of Paper Mario Final Boss Song. But yeah, just really fucking love this part here. This feels like the climax of the entire argument. Dave going with the whole, we're not so different, you and I. We're one of the same. It's like some shit you'd see in Naruto Sasuke right before their final fight. It's fucking wonderful. You make a fair point. I shall apologize to him, but do not expect a paragraph. You make sound arguments, Mr. Wasp. I'm not one to call someone by childish names, but you are very hypocritical after all, so I expect nothing less. Anyway, do go ahead. Where's the apology? I don't see it. Mr. Hater's trying to rush this. It hasn't even been a full day at this point. Mr. Hater, he wants that apology ASAP. So now you can see Mr. Hater has assumed control of this entire argument. The entire tone has shifted here, and now Dave is at the mercy of Mr. Hater, and he wants his homework. Do not rush me. It's been 2 days now, so no excuses. You aren't going to apologize, are you? I figured as much. If you wish to continue arguing, then be my guest, kid. Dave is starting to panic a little bit. He doesn't want to write this apology because he does not respect Aramaru, but he is afraid of Mr. Hater, so he's caught in between a rock and a hard place here, and he's treading water in the comment section. 1, I have a life at the moment. 2, you need a little bit of patience. 1 word. College. You don't go to college, David. And you clearly set your expectations of me far too low. A shame, really. I thought you would be smart enough to not do what little maggot did. Stop lying to yourself, David. How about you tell me what's actually going on? College, as I said before. Do you not listen, or are you refusing to believe that I have a life outside of this? Now, if you excuse me, I have a music class to attend. I really don't understand why Dave even feels compelled to keep answering at this point. He doesn't want to write the apology. He shouldn't write an apology, honestly. He just doesn't have to reply to Mr. Hater. He can just wash his hands of this whole thing and still come out as the victor. But for some reason, he keeps engaging with Mr. Hater in here, and Mr. Hater's pressure is somehow like leaking into Dave's real world, it seems, because it feels like he's stressing about this apology, which he shouldn't write in the first place. Mr. Hater goes in on Dave, starts poking holes into his claims about college because 4 months ago it was still coronavirus shutdown, so classes weren't going on, so Dave feels the need to defend himself again. And then he kind of just explains he just doesn't want to fucking apologize, which he shouldn't. I'm glad he doesn't. Dave says, 1, truthfully, I don't want to apologize to Armu because I know for a fact it would not be genuine, and no matter how much I hate a person, I'm not going to insult them by giving them a mocking, half-assed apology. And 2, online classes are a thing that exists, and I'm not doing just a music class. Who is the antagonistic one here? Because it definitely isn't me. You poor, pathetic whelp, barking and baying like anything you say will ever matter. No, your words don't hurt me because they are artificial, fake, designed, and spoken for the sole purpose of inflicting pain without putting actual feeling behind it. Ha, ha 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 ha. No, your words are hollow and do not deserve the electrons my brain cells would have to burn to process them, just like you. You're not special, you're not unique, you're not important, and you never will be, not now, not ever. So go ahead whelping, keep making a fool of yourself. I'll just watch the show, laughing all the while. And in your ivory tower of hypocrisy, did you ever once realize I never denied what you have been saying? You are a parasite, Mr. Hater. Something that must tear everyone down to justify their worthless existence. Perhaps I'm one too, but that's where our similarities end. You lash out at anyone you see as below you. I lash out at people who do what you and Armu did. Insult and tear into someone because they dared to have an opinion you did not agree with, or lash out at people who defend themselves from other people like you. I never said I was better, but does it really matter in the end? At the end of the day, one of us looks like the bad guy to everyone else, and since I haven't been antagonizing everyone participating in this, it most definitely not me who's the bad guy. Try to say I'm wrong here. You're not wrong, Dave. Not at all. And people like Aramaru and Mr. Hater, yeah, they suck a lot of fat ass. It's sad that someone cares this much about someone's opinion on something that doesn't matter. 100%. Agree with you entirely there, Dave. But the way you're handling all this and then putting this huge, presidential speech here is not good either. This is the wrong way of handling any of this. And there's really just no point in arguing in a YouTube comment section to begin with. There are no winners here. Mr. Hater breaks down his response line by line. You lash out at anyone you see as below you. Dave, don't be ridiculous. I'm not as narcissistic as you, or at all for that matter. I lash out at anyone who do what you and Armu did. A mistake you will regret, as you have started all of this, and I aim to end it. The two go back and forth about the apology that Dave doesn't want to write. Mr. Hater just keeps picking apart each line of everything he says. My words are said solely to get you to leave. That's never going to happen, Dave. I've grown very persistent over the years, and trust me, persistence pays, and I will stay here for months if I had to. Will you? Yeah, big guy, I'm sure your persistence pays, living in a fucking comment chain for months. How productive and incredible. There are just some people who live their life to argue online, and it's sad as shit. This guy is the perfect example, willingly saying, I will stay in this fucking thread for months because I have nothing else going on in my life. That is pathetic. That's fucking sad, Mr. Hater. Apology seems unlikely. Then you will perish here eventually with me, as it's either you apologize to Aramaru now and we'll be on our way, or we're going to be staying here for a long, long time. So, with that being said, let's just start all over on a positive note. We aren't going to start all over on a more positive note until you start apologizing, Dave. Are you going to apologize for your own hostility? Short answer, no. Unlike you, I did nothing wrong, Dave. So it's either you apologize to Aramaru and behave, or you slowly perish with me for months. Either way, I consider it a win-win. And this is where the story stops. I mean, it goes on a little bit further, but nothing is more pathetic than this mic drop from Mr. Hater. These are the people you argue with online, people that have actually nothing better to do. He considers it a win-win if someone is perishing, wasting their time in a comment section with him. That's so fucking sad. He considers it successful if he wastes somebody else's time and wastes his own time because he's already miserable in the first place. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. 3 months after all of this went down, as the dust was starting to settle, Mr. Hater and Dave just stopped communicating with each other, and there was just momentary bliss as everyone read through the thread. And then Yoshi comments, tagging Aramaru, and Aramaru's been tagged this entire time. Yoshi just points out it's been 10 months, but 64 really good, kind of basic, 1,000 Year Door, bop, and all this. Just kind of breaks down his opinion of the music. And then Aramaru, from out of fucking nowhere, comes out of retirement to deliver one of the most powerful conclusions to any story ever given. I don't give a fuck about your opinion, this song is still shit. What a beautiful way of wrapping all of this up. But yeah, anyway, the last interaction between our main characters was 4 months ago. From what I checked today, there wasn't any new developments that I noticed. A few more people have been made aware of this because it was posted on Twitter. That's how I found it. And this has just been truly a joy. Delightful to read through. So just keep all this in mind next time you think you're confident enough to leave an opinion on a Paper Mario song. That's about it. Nikocado Avocado has set a new world record for YouTuber response time for drama. This was a pretty impressive speed run. Within a few hours of my video being up, he had his entire response filmed and then posted this morning. So very impressive speed there. And there's a few things I want to talk about, so let's just go ahead and dive in. First of all, it's entirely in character. It's kind of like in the Suicide Squad movie where Jared Leto was constantly being the Joker, even off-set, so he was sending his co-stars like used condoms and dead pig carcasses. That's kind of what Nikocado Avocado has done. He is constantly playing his character. He has become the Joker of mukbangs. He is never out of character anymore, it seems. So this response is not him being genuine or taking it seriously. It's him playing his character and completely misunderstanding what I was saying in my video. He spends the majority of the 41 minutes of this response video eating, because he does a mukbang during it, and asking, who is this? Who are you? Does anyone know this person? If I had $1 for every time he asked, who is this, I would have enough money to afford 1,500 pizzas and do my own fucking nutty mukbang. I never really understood that perspective of, this person's not famous enough for me to care, therefore everything they say is worthless. He makes it sound like because he doesn't know who I am, everything I've said is completely irrelevant. And it's fine that he doesn't know anything about me. I expect that. I'm a fucking YouTuber. I'm an actual Z-lister, an internet content creator. I don't expect to go into a room and all of a sudden everything goes quiet as people drop champagne glasses that shatter on the floor because they're just blown away by my presence. Like, oh my god, do you know who that is? That's Charles White. Did you see his newest video where he was holding a rubber penis and throwing around a fleshlight? Holy shit, that's Charles White. I don't expect that. So I just don't really get why that's like one of the main things he keeps reiterating in this video is he doesn't know who I am. I don't know why that's such a strong point. Like, I don't know who this is. Do you know who this is? This guy's just so fucking, you know, not famous. Ugh, gross. Not famous guy. Who is this? But anyway, aside from him constantly mentioning that, there are some things that he does bring up that I think are definitely worth talking about. But first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Nick. It looks like his broken ribs are healing pretty well because he starts this video by stomping into the room. And I also checked his TikTok. He's been going kind of hard, so it looks like his broken ribs seem to be doing better now.
Cheers. Fiddlesticks. Who is this?
I remember when my mom broke a couple of her ribs, she genuinely couldn't walk for like a month. She was miserable. But luckily, Nick seems to be healing at an accelerated rate. He must be like Wolverine from the X-Men, so that's good to see. In regards to his broken ribs, in his response video, he said I was completely lying and that his broken ribs had nothing to do with weight gain, which surprised me because I actually got that information from one of his recent videos. I'll just go ahead and play you the clip.
And before you make fun of me, please try to put yourself in my shoes. I cracked my ribs. Bitch. This air sack from coughing excessively for over 2.5 months and my obesity, all 350 pounds of force. Ouch!
I didn't reach into my butthole and pull this out of nowhere. I got the information from him, so I don't understand why in his response video he makes it sound like I'm lying about so many things. Like he himself said his cracked ribs were the result of coughing for the last 2 months and his obesity, 350 pounds of pressure or whatever he said there. I didn't make that claim. I didn't make that up. It came from him, and you can just click on this video and it's right in the intro. So I don't know why he would say something like that in the response video. It also doesn't really sit right to me that in this response video he puts multiple advertisements for like going to his Patreon and stuff like that. It just shows that he doesn't really take any of it seriously. It feels like this response was just made to capitalize off drama clicks. Like, you know, I just feel like he's never serious anymore. It's always in this act, in this character. You know, I might as well plug something too, since I'm responding to it. Make sure you check out my second channel, Huge Charles, where I'm posting short content and exclusive shit over there. The link will be in the description below. That's Huge Charles, baby. But anyway, now to actually talk about the things Nick brings up that I think are very important to talk about. First of all, he talks about the people that went from my video to his to just be assholes. I always openly condemn this, and I should have again said don't go harass him, because it looks like people need a constant fucking reminder to not fucking harass people. You're not some kind of internet vigilante fighting for justice. That angry comment you left on Nick's video isn't going to help him. You're just being a fucking douchebag. And I completely sincerely apologize for overlooking the fact that I need to remind people how to behave online. I always hate, absolutely fucking hate. I've made 2 different videos on how much I hate when people go and harass people, but just from like YouTube videos and shit. It sucks. It fucking sucks. 100%. And Nick is absolutely in the right in calling that out. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's actually get into the fucking meat here and talk about some of the things Nick brings up. It's clear immediately that Nick misunderstood what I was saying in my video. I don't know if that's on purpose just for the sake of having like an aggressive response video for YouTube drama, or if he genuinely didn't understand what I was trying to say, but he makes it clear that he didn't get what I was going for right away.
I don't have the right to exist because I happen to be a little overweight. I'm being attacked for my weight, for my appearance. Apparently, I'm encouraging people to eat unwell. Excuse me!
I don't even understand at all where that last thing came from. I never made any point like that or even hinted at anything like that. I never said like Nikocado Avocado is a role model and he's encouraging people to eat like he does on camera. You know, I never said like, you know, these kids are going to watch Nikocado Avocado and then all of a sudden they're going to be fucking brainwashed by him. They're going to go out there and order 10 large fries and then a gravy to drink out of a toilet bowl. I never said anything like that. I never said that he's setting some kind of example for people to follow. All I was saying is the success he found with mukbangs has reinforced his decision to eat this way. I was also never focusing on his appearance or saying he doesn't have the right to live because he's overweight. I don't know where these are coming from. As far as appearance goes, me showing his 2017 body compared to his most recent one was used to show what the food is doing to him. If he was skinny and eating the way he does on camera, I would have the exact same criticisms. Because even when you're skinny, you can be very unhealthy, which is a point he makes. I wasn't saying skinny is the gold standard. He also brings up some demons from his past that I didn't know about. I didn't get the full extended lore of Nikocado Avocado. I was under the assumption that he was healthier back then because, contrary to what he says in the video, I am very familiar with him. I've watched his content for a while. I've watched the transformation, but apparently I've missed some arcs along the way in his anime. He mentioned back during those days with the photos I showed he had an eating disorder, even mentioned a tooth rotting out, and that he generally didn't feel like he was healthy back then. And I didn't know any of those things. What I saw on camera was him eating healthy food, preaching about healthy food options and lifestyles, as well as fitness and stuff like that. So I was under the impression that he was healthy during those days, but maybe he wasn't. But he's also not healthy now. I'm not Nick's dad. I'm not here to slap the fucking cheeseburgers out of his hand or anything. I showed these photos because it shows a complete transformation from one body type to another, and it shows that there is still an eating disorder present. And I feel like it's reinforced by his audience on YouTube that encourage it, which is something he mentions in his videos from time to time. He says things like, you guys are doing this, and I think he's right. I think seeing those numbers grow and seeing those big numbers has completely reinforced the idea that in order to be successful, he has to keep eating this way, so he feels trapped to do it. That's the point I was making. It is a very unhealthy lifestyle. It doesn't have to do with his weight or his appearance. It has to do with what he's eating on camera and how often he's doing it. Take, for example, Matt Stoney. Matt Stoney will do these incredible food challenges. He'll eat fucking 20,000, 30, 40,000 calorie meals in a single sitting in under an hour for a YouTube video, and they're fucking awesome. That's nuts to butts action. Matt Stoney eating the fuck out of 20 burritos at a time, double fisting 1,000 tacos per hand. It's incredible stuff, and it's so much food and so many calories, but Matt Stoney does that once every few weeks, once a month maybe. Nikocado Avocado is doing something comparable almost every single day. Over the last week or so, he's posted a mukbang every single day pretty much. So he's eating these thousands and thousands of calories every day. It's very different. The frequency is completely different. Or let me rephrase this. It seems like he does it almost every day since he is posting them almost every day. Now, I do know, at least on a few occasions, he's done multiple mukbangs in one day. And that's still a lot. That's still a ton. So the point is, it's very different. I'm not targeting Nikocado Avocado because of his weight or anything. I was talking about him in this whole situation because it feels like his audience has reinforced his eating disorder, which is taking a negative effect on his overall health. If Nikocado Avocado did not find success on YouTube and be known for eating such massive meals, he would not have gained the 200 pounds in 3 or so years. Gaining that much weight in that amount of time is not healthy by anyone's standards, no matter what doctor or what website you check. It is extremely rapid weight gain, and I don't think it would have happened had he not found success with this kind of mukbanging content on YouTube. He would probably not eat like this. And like I said, if he was skinny and still doing this exact content the exact same way, my criticisms would remain exactly the same. It is an unhealthy diet and an unhealthy lifestyle, as evident by the 200 pounds he gained, which is a lot in a short amount of time, and also the amount of times that he is crying on camera and breaking down. It seems like overall, this content has led him down a path where he is unhealthy and unhappy. My focus wasn't, look at Nick and all of this weight he gained, ewy. It was, how has Nick completely transformed over the last 4 years, and what role did his content play in that transformation? He is completely different now mentally and physically than he was 4 years ago. Nowadays, he's known for crying all the time on camera while eating. It's become one of his big things, like a staple in his content. He is constantly breaking down and crying while eating, which seems like he's much more unhappy now. And physically, he's completely different. He requires a mobility scooter now when he goes out in public. You'll see it in his TikToks, you'll see it in his videos. When he is at a store, he requires a mobility scooter. So what I was looking at in my video was how his content and his YouTube success played a role in this transformation.
Making some of the most revolting noises I've heard in quite some time while undergoing some kind of exorcism.
And me. Who are you? I haven't said anything that you're revolting and you're disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't say that about you either, Nick. I was talking about that shtick you do in your videos where you make a yucky noise. That's what I was talking about. And I think you know that, but you tried to use that as a way to spin it like I was calling you revolting and disgusting for your weight or something like that, which I absolutely wasn't. I was talking about that ongoing joke you have where you make noises and faces like that. I was just saying I find that to be off-putting. He calls them a hairball, which is obviously him kidding around, and I just called it gross because I don't really like those noises. And I'm sure he knows what I was talking about here, but just found it to be easy ammunition to make me look really shitty. So he was able to spin it like, look, he's calling me revolting and gross, he's being a big asshole, which I wasn't. I was just talking about that hairball thing that he does. This video is going to be really long if I keep going through every point he makes, to be honest. We're not even like half of the way through the response, so I just want to focus on the next few big things that he brings up that I think are very important to talk about. He says that I am incorrect about like the nurse, like the full-time nurse to take care of him, and that's entirely possible. I've tried to keep up with his videos recently to make sure I get the full story, but for me it is very hard to sit through a full mukbang from him because it's just sad to see. I'll just be straight up honest. It's hard for me to watch all of them, so sometimes I'll go to Twitter to read threads about Nikocado Avocado to be kept up to date, and I recalled reading about a nurse that had to be on standby in order to make sure that he was able to go about his activities. This, he has said, is incorrect, so I do apologize for that. That information that I got there was wrong. 100%, and I'll take full responsibility for being incorrect on that point. Now, one thing he is blatantly wrong about, and I don't know if this is on purpose to make me look bad or something, he keeps saying that I call his viewers fat, or I am constantly talking about him being fat and gross. Two things I've never said anywhere in that video. I never said his viewers are fat or insulting his viewers. I was saying his viewers are enabling him to keep doing some of this content. And that, I stand by 100%. You can even see it on this response video. There were so many comments saying, don't listen to him, and when are you doing your next big mukbang? I love to watch you eat this and that and that. Like, that's enabling. That's the very definition of enabling. It's enabling a bad habit. And it keeps you doing these same things which have had a negative effect on your health. But that's not me all of a sudden saying all your viewers are fat pigs that are gross and yucky, ooh, cooties, yucky, gross pigs in your comments. I never said anything like that. And I don't know why he tries to hint like that. And I think I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident. I think it's supposed to like make his viewers mad at me, like, can you believe what this guy is saying about us? Which I never did. What I was saying about your audience is that they keep you doing these unhealthy things, which they absolutely are. I wasn't calling you gross. I never said any of that. I said that they are keeping you doing this unhealthy kind of content which you've done for a few years now, which has negatively affected your health. And I'll say it again, because that was the point of the video, and that was the point I was making. It's not all your audience's fault. You are making the conscious decision to continue this content and really focus on those numbers, but they do obviously play a role in it. The next thing he talks about is this machine that he's had in every thumbnail for like the last 2 weeks. He says he's actually had this since he was a kid, and it's nothing new, unrelated to mukbangs and all that. Okay, fair enough. Let's say that's true. Maybe it is. It probably is. I don't see why he'd lie about it. But then why all of a sudden now are you putting it so prominently in every thumbnail and every title talking about being disabled and doing a disabled mukbang? Why are you just now showing this off then? It leads your viewers to believe that the situation's a lot more dire than it is, and you're doing it on purpose. You're trying to garner more sympathy out of the situation by having this machine here. It makes it seem like your health is on a really rapid decline. And I think the reason you're doing that is to get more views on it, because when people see that you're in distress, they want to see what's going on and want to make sure everything's okay. So if you truly have had this machine for that long, why are you all of a sudden now showing it off like this in the context of being disabled? So it's pretty fucked up. And I don't want this video to keep dragging on, so the last thing I'll talk about is the broken ribs thing, the subject of like his disabled mukbangs. As I mentioned, he's been kind of jumping around just fine. In this video, he comes stomping in, jumping around just fine. He's not coughing at all in this video, which he's coughed in all the other ones, and then like cried out in pain, like yelling about how much pain he's in. On TikTok, he's doing just fine, moving around, jumping, stomping. Either way, that whole situation seems to be all honky-dory now, so that's great. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this. I feel like he completely missed the point of what I was saying with my video. I wasn't trying to call him all kinds of disgusting names or anything like that. I don't even know where he would have gotten that from. Maybe just a complete misunderstanding. I'm not sure, but either way, I still find the entire situation sad. His response didn't change my perspective on everything going on over there. I still think it is all a very sad situation. I feel like if Nikocado Avocado was not a successful YouTuber, he would not be doing these kind of mukbangs or eating this way. I feel like that's only there because of the success he's found with these videos, and his response did not change my perspective on that. It didn't change my opinion on it, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.